going to mute myself until I join.
Alright.
So I don't bother you guys.
And go. Hello everybody! And welcome to this very special edition of Blunders and Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. This is the Tuesday Party, episode 20.
Woo!
Said with a complete enthusiasm and craziness, and woohoo, you've made it, guys, you made it to 20. Let's see if we can make it to 40.
When I actually looked at it on the calendar, I was like, oh my god, 20.
Yeah, that's a commitment, guys. That's a commitment.
We see episodes without even a single death.
Don't tempt everybody. So, to recap, you guys are in the world of Mercer, in the country of Borsin, heading towards the capital, Layli, which you have just entered, following a dust trail that Orissa only can see when she wears her goggles, given to her by the angel Paltalemon. You guys are looking for, among other things, the overall thing you're doing at some point in the future is finding shards of the Aida, which you are going to give to the angels and hopefully use to fight the great evil which is rising in the world. You are also embarked on several different things as you go. You had a heart-to-heart session last time where you got to know each other a little bit better. Some lies were told, some weren't. Varric aired his feelings a little bit. And Apricity is, yes, you've taken on some disguises to go into the... you've taken on some disguises to get into Layli, just so that you don't attract too much attention, because you're very aware that the father of a girl that you helped to escape a potentially dull and bad arranged marriage is in Layli, and you are also aware that a guy called Sharpin Rot, who probably has quite a lot to do with it, is in the city too. So you guys disguised yourselves in many various different ways. Apricity is now the daughter of Orissa, etc., etc. And you guys have strolled into the city and you're having a look about. You have noticed as you walked in that the buildings near the castle are in a constant state of repair. The castle standing right on the edge by the cliff face, looking over the side. Ah, blonde and beautiful family members. Beautiful. Excellente. Alright, I'm just going to click on this so I can see the video that hopefully is going to play. Excellent. There we go. Marvellous. Alright. So there's some frantic typing going on. Waffle, mama! Waffle! Okay. So, you guys...
Apricity still with vague baby talk.
All time.
So... you guys have literally just stepped into the city. Only just. It is the morning. The sun is coming up over the coast. You can see the sea. You can see the sea. That was bad. You can see the sea breaking waves, everything off in the distance. You can hear you can hear seagulls circling around in the distance. There are fishing boats off in the distance. You can smell fish as well. There's a market in the middle of town. It looks like fish is quite common and popular here. All fishies. Yes, exactly. And as you guys are walking, you have heard different shouts coming from the market. You've heard somebody say, "The mystical, marvelous, magical snafu will be performing shortly," much further up down the market. Redo, you took note of that because this is a name that you are interested in that you would quite like to find out why this person is doing whatever they're doing, and why their followers have accused you of stealing his magic book, which happened 2 episodes ago. You were attacked by a band of people claiming to be magic. It seems like they were just using magic potions, and that was about it. But they thought they were very, very clever magicians, and they claimed to have been taught by the mystical, marvellous, wonderful Snafu, who then they recognised the spell book that Redu was holding. And they didn't take too kindly to it. They recognised it. They said, "Oi!" essentially. And they said that she had stolen it and that belonged to their master. And she did not give it back, and they could not take it and in the end you parted ways very amicably in that they were all dead. So, you guys are trotting along through the market in your various disguises. Now, you'd left your horses outside, am I right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, the weasel and go and hide.
Oh yes, that's true. The dire weasel and your
Dire
boar.
weasel.
The dire weasel. the best kind of weasel, the superior weasel, the dire weasel.
Can we give him like robes and make him look all magical? Like I want to buy him like a wizard's dress-up set.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. With little stars and beads on it. Well, Varric, that is your mission for today. You can wander the market until you find something fit for a dire weasel. It will be great.
Well, I actually have something else that I intend to explore if I have the chance.
Okay. Well, you can mention that as you're wandering through. The first thing you guys notice as you're wandering through, and you've got to the entrance of the market now, just up till this point you've been walking past houses, you can see the castle and all the richer houses near it, the ones that are in a constant state of being rebuilt, because they're high up on the hill overlooking the cliff. That's where the castle is. It's really grand and fancy, seagulls overhead that can look right down the cliff onto the beach and into the sea. You guys have been walking sort of through like lanes, past a couple of taverns, you've seen some poorer houses and things. And as you get into the market, which is the dead centre of the city, and it's sprawling and bustling, you have been hearing different things. This is where the snafu came from, Reedy, that you heard. Well, you all heard it. Reedy, you're very interested. You can't see who from yet. It's a lot of people, but you heard it coming from this direction. You can hear some bustle. A lot of the stands have opened already. It is quite early in the day, but people have opened up and people are opening the shutters and lifting things up, setting everything out for the day. A few bread stands and things with breakfasty stuff are already open, and you can smell the smells of food. And one thing that catches your eye, which is almost directly as you come in, is a sort of 7 foot tall by maybe 3 foot wide wooden box house, and it's painted in different colours. It's yellow and red and green, and it's stripy, and it looks very fluorescent, and it's got a little window with 2 curtains drawn across it, and you can hear voices coming from the other side, and there's a gaggle of children and a few parents stood in front. And the curtains draw back, and as you get closer you can't help but have a look, and you can see 2 little figures appear, and you recognise that they are hand puppets, and they pop up through this window, and one of them is wearing a very large crown, and one of them is wearing a very white dress, and this white dress has flowers and embroidered things. It looks very posh. It's a posh dress. This is clearly supposed to be a posh puppet couple. As you wander up closer to it, the puppet with the crown on, that looks like the king, is shouting at the other puppet, and you can hear this voice coming out, and the children are laughing, and you can just hear a sort of a shred of insults going, never lied to anyway, and this puppet, in true Punch and Judy style, flies at the female puppet, and there is a scuffle. And the female puppet, suddenly, you guys notice, because you're not children, a squirt of what looks like, it looks like it's come from someone's mouth, and they had some sort of berry juice in their mouth backstage, and they've squirted it up into the air, but it looks like a pool of red liquid spurts out of the female puppet, and it lands all over her and the dress, and some of the kids in the front of the audience get splattered, and their parents are going, ah! And the female puppet lies dead on the stage. And the king puppet looks down and says, oh no! What have I done? I have killed my wife, the queen! Whatever shall I do? I know! I shall bury her! And he gets a little shovel, and he digs a little hole, and he kicks the female puppet in, and she disappears. Ha! Says the king puppet. I have buried her under the castle! No one shall ever suspect a thing! And then a little sign pops up, saying a few weeks later. And the king puppet comes back on, but his hair's all grey and wiry, and he's shaking, and he says, "Oh no! I have brought upon this town, this city of Lely, a terrible curse! Oh, my dead wife has cursed us, and now... What's that? Ah!" And the whole stage box starts to rock from side to side, and the king puppet is shaking in the middle of the stage, and he says, "Oh no! Oh no, the earthquake's come again! My wife is so dead and angry, she cursed us! Ah!" And then the little puppets of other villagers pop up, and behind them pop up some like houses and stalls, and they all start to shake, and then slowly the roofs fall off the houses and the whole thing collapses, and the king puppet is the last one left, and a poof of dust comes up from behind the stage, and he says, "I have killed us all! Ah!" And the king puppet falls down dead on the stage too. Another poof of dust comes up, and a little sign comes up saying, "The end." And the curtains close.
It's the story of Travis.
I think it's the story of Lele. Would I know this story?
The kids all clap and cheer, and you do not recognise this story at all, no.
But I'm a bard!
The only thing that makes any sense at all is that you know that there is a king in Lely, and you have heard rumours that the queen has been dead for a couple of months.
I'm gonna take that.
Oh, so that's why the city moved a few inches when we were like in the camp killing the snafu people.
Oh, you have an excellent memory.
I was looking at my notes.
Okay, you have
My notes have an excellent memory.
Could you all please roll me a perception check?
Oh my god, I'm going to use one of my new dice.
Oh, shiny.
Okay.
Tell us which one you use.
This is really weird. I'm having to roll with my left hand.
I'm going to roll with...
Yeah, Arissa.
Why are you playing puppets with the other?
No, I sprained my wrist.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
Let's keep this a nice and clean channel, everybody. No comments about what she might have been doing. Yay, Vex!
I was walking Amos, and he decided to try and run across the road.
Ah.
That's what they all say.
Okay, so redo and apricity. The tavern name is
It's Babe Watch Tavern.
Babe Watch Tavern.
It's Babe Watch.
Big Watch Tavern.
No, Babe Watch.
Wrote it.
Sure.
We
know you named it, but it's now Babe Watch.
It's now Babe Watch. That's fine. It's Babe Station. That's what it is. So you roll as well. Here, have the dice. There you go. Honestly. So, redo and apricity, you are bemused by the puppet show and sit there going, what on earth was that madness? The rest of you...
18, but I can't remember my modifier. I think
no, that's fine, 18 is fine. It's a perception check, you're fine. The rest of you hear... some noises coming up from behind you. You were stood, because you just walked into the market, you were stood at the back of the group of... Is this human entertainment? It's awful. It's barbaric.
Oh, I left. I went to the tavern to prepare.
Oh yes, you're not there, you're at the tavern. You're going to leave. That's fine. Okay, so everyone except Kaloja, who has disappeared. Right, so... Everybody else, you hear some people coming up behind you, and you all turn and you notice a group of humans who have appeared. As you turn around, the noise you heard was their feet skidding slightly in the gravel path that leads up to the market. It looks like they've appeared in a poof of smoke. Humans. A group of humans appear. There are four. It looks like there are 4 females and 2 males, but you can't quite tell. You're only going based on stature because they're all wearing black robes with the hoods pulled up over their heads. They've got long sleeves which drape down to each side, and you can see tints of yellow and silver and other black colours poking out from underneath. They all raise wands at the same time. and they cast a spell in unison. And just as you guys go to panic, you notice that actually they're all pointing their wands at Swanee, who was stood right behind all of you. They cast a spell. You can't quite hear the words. They all whisper it together. It sounds like a ripple. And something white rises from Swanee's throat. Think of that, The Little Mermaid, where Ursula pulls her voice out. And that's exactly what happened. It disappears out of her mouth, and she clutches her throat for a second and looks surprised and confused. And you realise that they've taken away her voice. And one person catches the sort of silvery orb that's come out of her throat in their hand, and it vanishes. The taller male says, "You have been found out." This is all directed at Swanee. The female...
Could you repeat that? My sound cut out.
Yeah. The taller male pulls down his hood, revealing sort of short, slightly curled hair, and says, "You have been found out." You can't tell. They look magical, but you haven't come across anyone like this before, Varric, no.
Okay.
The female with short hair pulls down her hood too and says, "You can no longer be permitted to roam freely in Mercer." A shorter, dark-haired female pulls down her hood, and they're all encompassing her in a big semicircle now. And she says, "Your deceit has caused pain and suffering." Oh yeah, looking super innocent and listening, like, I'm a child. You two have turned around by this point because you've heard this happen, and you've noticed your fellows are now looking. You just didn't see them all appear. The next one pulls down their hood. It's a stern, shorter male who says, "It is our custom, as you know, to allow our community to choose your punishment for such a betrayal." Another pulls down their hood and says, this is a purple-haired female who says, "We have all chosen and have wiped the memories of everyone hurt by you." The final one pulls down their hood, and it's a dark-haired female who says, "They may now start anew. So, to your chosen punishment." They all raise their wands again in unison, and this time they're pointing at you, all of you. They say, "Alai Reversia." Can everyone make me an intelligence save, please?
Oh. This one.
Well,
Oh my god, I've genuinely rolled a natural one. Genuinely. Yeah, take a photo. Genuinely rolled a natural one. Bloody
well, it was bound to happen at some point. Lucky 7. Actually a 9, but still
Of
lucky
course.
7.
And that one with Percy? What? Percy, man, you're letting us down. This is terrible. Alright.
intelligence.
Wait, who's Percy? What did I miss?
The
Percy
dice are named.
is a character in Critical Role, and we both have the dice, and they have a d20 for each character, and the guy who plays Percy is notorious for rolling natural 20s a lot, as opposed to Will Wheaton, who rolls natural 1s a lot.
I would never use the Will Wheaton dice.
No, never. Okay, so we've had Varric, Redo, Apricity, Arissa, you. Okay, and you were at the tavern, right?
No, he came back for this.
Said he was going to leave after this.
Okay.
He mentioned
Wait,
that
wait.
You came back for the puppets. Okay.
I got a -5 in my intelligence.
You got a minus what?
5.
How much does that take you to?
I don't know, 14.
Basically, did anyone beat a 15?
No.
Oh.
No,
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Alright.
Especially not with -2.
In which case, can everyone please roll me initiative?
Oh shit.
Uh,
It's so weird. Right. That's funny. Okay.
God.
Okay.
And I rolled worse on that.
Okay.
I think I'm sin binning that dice for a bit.
Sin bin. Sin
Okay.
bin. Sin bin.
Varric. Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
gonna blame it on my armor, why I'm so slow compared to
How would that work with a nat 20?
That one.
You add all the things you need to add, and but you got 24, so that's fine. So your initiative order, you are going Varric, then Arissa, then Apricity, then Redo, then Verti, then Kaloja, who got a nat 1. Oh,
Yeah, but Arissa rolled a nat 20, so isn't that better than me rolling a 19 plus some?
don't
well,
think that's
when
counted.
you add it on, so don't waste the nat 20 on an initiative roll. Don't do it. But because you got an overall total, I'm going to put you first.
Pause it!
You should ask your dice nicely to do this again next time, maybe.
Don't!
So
Yeah, but when it's not initiative.
what has happened now is you have all failed against a spell, which is, as it's called, Ally Reversia, which means you all now have had, temporarily, you hope, your allegiance switched, and you see the elven wizard standing before you, who was once known to you as Swanee, but is now known as the enemy. And you can hear these voices in your head, the same voices of the people in the hoods saying, attack, attack, attack. And in your initiative order, you do not have time to draw any weapons you would not have in your hand. So what all of you can do at the moment is do an unarmed strike, which means you can punch, slap, kick, hit, anything. Basically, this has all happened within about 3 seconds. So you can't pull out a bow, you can't draw a sword, anything you didn't naturally have in your hand. Yeah, you can bite if that's going to be what you would do. Essentially, it's an instinct. It's like primal. They have turned you into lions attacking a gazelle, essentially. So Varric, have you got anything that would be in your hand, or are you going to do an unarmed strike?
The closest... Yeah, I actually would have something in my hand. It's
Okay.
a bunch of dead animals.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, because he was coming through as a hunter.
I'm disguised as a hunter, so I have like a
That
bunch
is
of
very true.
rabbits and skunks and such that they're caught on the way. In my hand, on
Yeah.
my own.
Technically, because I walked in with Apricity holding her.
Okay, so Varric, what are you going to do as your primal instinct? What are you going to do? Weirdest conversation I've ever had with a player.
I assume the primal instinct here would be to slap with like the handful of skunks and such that I killed.
Okay, sure. In which case, can you roll me a d20 and just add your strength, just for a random hit? And how many skunks are in your hand, by the way?
I thought we said something like 3 or 4.
Okay, I'll go with 3.
Roll a
Okay.
d4, and that's how many skunks you have.
That's
But
okay.
I roll a d20 to hit. Do I add anything to it?
Add your strength.
Aw. In that case, it's only 18.
That's okay, that will be a hit, but can you please roll me a d4 and then add your strength again, and that can be your damage total.
4. Plus strength again, you said?
Yeah, just add your strength to that.
In that case, it's 6 total damage.
Okay.
Ooh, do they let out a puff of
Well,
little,
I did roll for that actually. When you said skunks, I rolled for it. And one of them rolled. I went with if they roll low, then they let off. One got a nat 20, one got an 18, and one got a 2. So one of them, they're dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is gonna, as it makes contact, splat, is gonna like let off a pff, which is going to. Can everyone make a Constitution save? Actually,
Oh, no.
I wish I didn't read this up now.
Seriously?
what did you get?
Uh-oh.
I got nat 1 and I'm a -2.
Nah, okay.
You not only puke, you puke your bowels out.
Well, this makes sense actually because Varric, you were the closest to it, and then we'll just say you were downwind of it. So the two of you catch a nice skunk smell, and it goes right up your nostrils. And Closure, it's a good job you were the last in intelligence. Last in the order anyway, because I would have made you skip your go for that.
Yay, that one!
Okay, so while Varric staggers back, reeling from the impact of what he has now done, Arissa, it's your turn. Do you have anything in your hands? Oh, yes, you
I
do.
have electricity in my hands.
You have electricity in your hands, so it.
Wait,
And I have
electricity,
permission.
open your mouth so that you bite again. So that you get 2 bite attacks.
I mean, you two are next to each other in the initiative order if you wanted to go one then the other and do it that way.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm thinking, it's, essentially this spell turns you like pack animalish, so if there was something you wanted to do combined, I suppose that would work. So, Arissa, can you roll me a d20 and add your strength to like thwack the gnome, and then Apricity, can you roll me a, same again, strength to bite down.
Yeah.
You can maybe do a dex because to kind of help with my
Well-
strength.
Yeah, go on then.
Because I really want this to work because it just sounds like it would be hilarious
I
to
think
watch.
it's a move you guys should use more often, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, I'm loving it.
Okay.
Luckily, I rolled
Get a thrown gnome.
Okay, that definitely helps. Okay, between the two of you, the gnome sort of at the last possible second realizes what you're about to do, and because you're feeling that primal urge as well, and you were getting ready to leap forward yourself, sort of like cat-like, in a sort of rah, you leap into the air with her and get a good strike. Arissa, can you roll me a d6 and add your strength for damage? And Apricity, can you roll me a d4 and add your damage? Add your strength for
Ooh.
damage.
Oh, my strength is nothing.
Okay,
Okay.
-5.
Oh, you said a D4, didn't you? I just rolled a D6. What? Oh, 3.
So d4 and your strength. Okay, 3. Okay, so the gnome swings and makes contact and sort of does a wraparound, still being held firmly by the hand by her mother, and then does a biting attack. I'm going to say you probably end up hitting. You probably end up hitting like the shoulder area, so like sort of Walking Dead style zombie sort of. And then you naturally, sort of like a boomerang, like the force swung you forward, and then the collision sort of you rip your teeth, but it sort of brings you back again as well. And you two stagger. Redo, what would your primal instinct like to do? Do you have anything in your hand, or are you going to do an unarmed strike as well?
Magic, magic.
I have a book in my hand. Can I use that?
Sure. Yeah, d20 and strength. Yep.
Ooh,
That's
that's
what they
20
call Facebook.
plus 1.
Well, nat 20 would be a critical hit, wouldn't it?
Yes. Oh, in which case
So
you can.
damage.
In which case you can double your damage. So for your damage, do me a d4 plus your strength. But whatever you got on the d4, double it and then add your strength. So essentially, a d4 times it by 2, then add strength. 7. Okay, -7.
Can I slap her over the face with it, please?
Yeah,
Facebook!
you can. Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my god, Facebook, as if you just said that. Oh my god. Anyway, alright. So, next up is for Theratas. What primal instinct are you going to have? Technically, you have a shield and a Narvinier in your hand.
Wait, Rosie?
Yes,
He has 5 javelins strapped to his shield.
that's true. You do. So it's up to you. Do you want to go full primal and attack yourself, or do you want to use something that will be in your hand already? It's entirely up to you.
he would most likely just strike under this kind of spell, so probably shield bash.
Okay. In which case, do a... I'm going to keep it simple and do the same. Do a d20 with your strength, but do the d20 with an advantage because you're already proficient with your shield.
Yep. Fetch another one. That's 50. Plus proficiency.
Yes.
Right. That would be an 18 to hit.
Okay, I believe that will hit. And I'm looking up opinions. I'm going to say for damage, do a d8 plus your strength and proficiency.
Alrighty.
Because you're proficient and it's a shield. People having the same problem as me. I googled this
Ouch.
because I had to look earlier, but oh god,
I think
what?
there's actually a feat for it eventually.
There is, yes. That's what I was trying to look up, but I didn't know what you would use. But yes, what have you got?
Oh, shit. Ouch. You said plus proficiency plus strength, right?
Yes.
Right, yo. Just double checking my terrible maths.
That's fine.
That plus that. Yeah, I was right. That's 13 damage.
Okay, 13. All right. Are
Ouch.
you aiming anywhere in particular, or are you just gonna ram it like on instinct? I mean, you haven't got a lot of time to think.
It
but...
would just be a full-blown bull rush.
Okay, cool. In which
Charge.
case, she'll step back a bit, but the people who were in the dark hoods and robes will keep the wands on, and while they're keeping the spell going on you guys, they're sort of keeping it enclosed. And you also notice that everyone around you guys doesn't seem to be looking. As you finish your attack and you sort of step back, the children are still looking at the puppet show, the end sign, and their parents are still chatting to them. People are walking past it. It almost seems like people can't see you right now. Okay, minus 13. Okay, Kalasia.
Yes.
Yes, what are you doing?
2 seconds.
Are you typing? Okay.
Waiting for it.
Okay. Dimension door pimps. We talked about that earlier. Okay, we talked about using it as portal, but okay, okay. So the nat 20 means just yes, it works, and the 9 damage. Okay.
Nope. That is 15 because I crit.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. That's 15.
Oh
Alright.
shit.
Okay.
Hey, is this a head just sticking through a dimension door?
Yes.
Yeah, literally.
This is just a hand.
Yeah. And then it disappears again, and you hear a sort of growl from behind you. You're all sort of thinking in growls right now, so it makes sense as a sort of all right, that's all of you down, and she's down 2, 1, 2. Okay. All right. At this point, almost at the moment of the pimp slap, as the dimension door vanishes and the hand withdraws into it, the group in the black and yellow robes walk in. Where are you getting these really appropriate pictures from? What even is
Google.
this? I love
This is some Google skill.
I love Google so much. It can give you everything.
I love Tibble so much.
Okay, so well that too. I love you all so much. You've all been great. So the group in the black, yellow, silver, and black robes move around, and they now their wands are no longer pointed at you guys, and you guys feel the primal urge slowly start to leave you. It's a slow drawing feeling, like recovering from the flu, and you sort of stand there confused, and you watch as the group in the robes raise their hoods once more, and they encircle Swanee, and you guys can see they raise their wands again, all pointing into the middle of the circle where she stands, and they all say together, "With our final sacrifice, the memories of this ordeal die with us all." From their wand tips, as they all start to whisper. Again, a spell that you can't quite understand or comprehend. Fire begins to erupt from the tips of their wands. It shoots in almost jets of water and spouts. It connects and interconnects like a web, and it expands around the group with Swanee in the middle, and it starts to connect. You see the hems of their robes start to burn and sizzle. They catch upon fire, but still they stand there whispering continuously. If they're feeling pain, they don't show it in their voices or their faces, the ones that you can see. The robes catch fire, the hoods are burning, everything happens. And as the group erupts into flames, it spreads, encompassing Swanee in the middle. And Swanee and the group die in flames. Can you all make me a wisdom save, please?
Ooh.
Ouch.
I enjoy wisdom saves. Fuck.
Oh,
I don't
actually-
enjoy this wisdom save.
Right off!
Oh, come on.
Someone got a nat 1 over here.
-3. No, sorry, -2.
Okay.
Total.
Okay.
This is my second highest stat.
Alright.
And I got a nat 1 in it.
Okay, I'll start from the bottom. The Theritas and Kelosia, you have absolutely no memory of what just happened. In fact, if asked, you would have no idea you'd even done anything. You saw the puppet show, and this is where you are now. Varric and Apricity, you have a feeling something strange just happened. And there's a sort of blackened area of the ground. No, you're not, sorry. There's a blackened area of the ground where it seems like there was a fire recently, but you don't really remember one. Maybe it happened before you arrived. Everybody else, you have hazy memories of everything that happened. You can't remember why. You can't remember who was involved. And if you were asked now, then... Hang on, sorry. Oh, bless me. And if you were asked now, you would say you were only ever a group of 5.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Why does my hand hurt?
Group
Why
of
does my
5.
mouth taste funny?
I think my brains, my wrists
Your
somehow.
Why is my lovely dress dirty? I'm so confused.
Oh, sweetie. And the wrist just kind of kneels down and starts to, like, try and clean up the dress. Mom mode activate.
Just Narcissus is just gonna very, very confusedly wonder why the hell he's, like, not where he's supposed to be, considering he's meant to be bodyguard. And then just wander back on over.
When did I step over here?
Yeah. Especially since he's got this, like, massive feeling of, I get the feeling I don't remember anything again.
Just like the sexy party.
Uh-oh. This is all too real to you. This is almost too much like the sexy party.
And rubbing my hand out of confusion, I'm gonna fuck off to the tavern.
Theritas looks down at himself, double checking he's not naked.
I think that would be safe, yes. Okay. So yes, you guys are stood by the sort of puppet stage. The show has finished. You remember the show, and that's about it. Give or take some hazy memories of something just happened. Not sure. I think Ridu and Arissa, who rolled the highest, I think you'd probably think, oh, maybe there was some sort of fight behind us, but we missed it. You know, like someone in the crowd had an argument or something. Arissa remembers puppets.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, yes, the puppet show has ended. The children have started getting up now. Some mums sort of push past you in the crowd, and it seems that people know where you are now. People have recognised you now. Nope. So while you're wondering why Varric smells so badly, that is so gonna happen. Like, oh, hello. Those are not the jewels I meant to steal. This is awkward. Hello. Okay.
No wonder we're the sexy party group. Oh my god. I love it.
I would like to tug on Arissa's sleeve, not anything else.
That's what they all say.
I pointedly go, Mummy, were we going to go shopping?
Yes, sweetie. Yes, we were. Now, where was it we needed to go? I assume that Felicity wrote me a list beforehand, so I can check my list.
I actually have a list.
Good.
Can I like sniff and see if anything smells nice?
Yes. Roll me a perception sniff check.
Perception. Ooh. I think my dice realized that this is Varric looking for food. I rolled a 26 total.
Okay.
That's not a net 20, by the way.
The main problem will be that you are slightly overcome by the still remaining and lingering smell of skunk. And this is going to last for
God damn it.
while. So I'm going to put that in my notes. Varric smells of skunk.
Is this like skunk or is this herbal skunk?
No, this is skunk. The West Hand is skunk.
Oh, okay.
Skunk gunk.
Oh.
Oh dear. But you can still, over the top of that, because you are Varric, you can smell food. You can smell some bread and some fish and some pie. That's about it at the moment because it's just the morning and it seems that people are doing minimal stuff for breakfast and they're getting more out as the day continues on. So,
Can I try and steal something, like some food somewhere?
of course you can. You can see there is a bread stall, and you can see that there is a fish stand, and you can see that there is also a lady selling some pies from a big fancy stall. Everything here is very grand. The market stalls, whatever they be selling, seem to have had a decent amount of money invested into them. And yeah, everything is looking very, 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 very nice. Okay.
I'll steal the closest bit of food.
All right. Roll me a sleight of hand, please.
I'm gonna look for food.
Can I stealth it to try and assist?
Do you want to order food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're literally just going to walk up and try and steal something, I won't make you stealth. I'll make you just sleight of hand as you're walking past, like.
Just holler at me if you need me, or if they go to the tavern.
Okay. Where are you going?
Gonna get some food.
I thought you were ordering food.
I know, but I'm gonna get some lunch before that.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
Bless you.
Okay, sleight of hand. So, you managed to steal. And for that, I'll give you... Okay. It's odd. It's round. It's about the size of a tennis ball. But it feels warm, and it smells good.
Can I look at it and like try to see if I recognize the food?
You may do, yes. It's Varric. He is very high superior on food.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd just ask and check if like do I roll anything to see if it's to see what kind of food it is?
No, that's fine. You have a look at it and you have a sniff. Inside, you can smell there is some sort of meat, some sort of cheese, some sort of egg, and it's like a pie crust, but it's more breadcrumby going around the outside.
So it actually looks tasty.
It looks and smells tasty, yes. It's just sort of like a big tennis ball round thing covered in breadcrumbs.
In that case, I take a bite.
Okay. You bite, and you notice that there are layers inside, and as you chow on into it, you can taste there's a ball of meat in the middle, and it tastes like maybe some sort of pork. Around that, there's a layer of cheese, and around that, there's a layer of sort of like scrambled egg with bits of bacon and stuff, and then around that, there's a layer of breadcrumbs.
Oh God. Can I walk up to the man and just compliment him on his food?
You're going to walk up to the person you stole from to compliment them on their food?
Yes.
Sure. What would you like to say?
This is so fucking delicious. Can I have a few? How much are they? And I'll just show off the food that I just took a bite of.
Okay. The man did not notice you stole anything at all.
Fuck yes.
And he says, wait a second. He says, it's a silver for 3.
I'll take 5 silvers worth of them. How long are they? How long are they okay? Like how long do they stay good?
Yeah, he thought the food was so good, he's now buying some.
Wow.
He tried it and
He
felt,
tried
yeah,
and now
this
he
is worth
buys.
buying.
Well, I'm gonna do an absolutely unvarric thing with this because
3 lots of
Platinum.
5, so you've got 15 of them.
yes.
Okay.
I feel like the rest of this thing
And
has
how long are they? How long are they good? Just so I know that I can keep them in my bag without like.
They should be
Wasted.
good for about a week. They won't remain hot for very long, but because of the way they're
Fair.
compacted, they should be okay for a week.
Awesome. So I bought 15 delicious things, but how do I write them in my inventory? Oh yes, Rosie, can you
Put them as
please
a-
write
as-
down what I just stole? So that I can add it to the recipe book. I think I should add every dire Scotch eggs.
Well, you get like a dire weasel. This is a dire Scotch egg. It's massive.
Yes.
I had some corn Scotch eggs earlier. That's now what I'm going to refer to them as.
Nice. I'm down with the corn. Love it.
Yeah.
I love how you're taking a recipe for Scotch eggs from the vegan. It's great.
They would now be dwarf's eggs, but that sounds like it's something else. So Let's refer to them as Scotch eggs.
I've heard that Arissa likes dwarves' eggs.
No, that's gnomes.
Please use gnome eggs.
My joke went wrong.
You tried.
My brain is not working.
No, it's because you
your
look
own
like
race.
an adorable kid.
Damn it!
Yeah, but it's because you look like an adorable kid. It makes sense.
Oh yeah.
I will find a way to make this an actual food.
Do it.
Says the vegan.
Yep. Proudly.
I'll
encourage
also
it. That'd be
find a
great.
way to make it vegan.
Well, it's pork, which is meat, cheese, dairy, eggs, dairy, bacon, more pork. Breadcrumbs is all good.
I'll just have
I
a
will
breadcrumb.
find a way to make it. I will find a way to make it vegan for you.
Okay, I'm cool. Okay.
So, after that little recipe
After that
intermezzo,
little recipe lesson,
I
so,
and everybody in the group one dire
Yes.
egg.
Aww.
What, even for Theratus?
Especially the
Hesitantly,
Theratus.
but yes.
Luna!
So that's 5, right? So I have 10.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's also Kalosia is still in the tavern, right?
He headed off to the
Setting
tavern.
up. Okay, so I'll give him his later then.
You're being saved.
I'll
Will.
use the others
There
for
you
the
go.
plan.
Okay. Oh, there's a plan. I like this. I'm going to put that in my notes now. Varric has made food plan.
Well, we're gonna torture the guy. Of course, Varric is gonna use food.
Because that would be torture to him.
Yeah, it's the worst. Like I imagine the worst thing to Varric because that would be the first torture thing he'd try.
Just eat food in front of him. Okay.
Something like that.
You've all been handed a giant Scotch egg by the hangry elf, and
Even the baby.
yes, especially the baby. The Theratas, as you're handed yours, Narvigne comes out, looking around carefully to make sure no one's looking at her, but she extends herself from on the front of your shield and like leans in and sniffs and gives you a sort of confused look and then goes back to her flame shape on the front of your shield.
I'll take out another one, take a bite, and throw her like half of it.
Redo cantrips a
Can I-
message to the Theratas saying, so, do you have a special preference towards any particular reflection of light?
Purple.
Narvigne colours.
He's going to be a little confused for a second until he realizes it's Renu messaging him.
Oh yeah, he has got very
And
low
of some
intelligence.
red-
See, like someone
the
pops on his
person
brain,
in the
he's like,
crowd.
Someone is flirting with him, whispering in his ear.
He's giving you a favourite
So
colour.
he,
Oh.
He's writing a paragraph about his favorite reflection of light.
I like every reflection of light, and this is the order in which I would place them. My top 20 reflections of light. In fact, I quite like refractions as well.
so he'll respond with that to Redo. In the meantime, he's probably caught the
Red.
Scotch egg that got thrown across as well, and is holding out to Navinia.
She sniffs it and looks a little confused. Like, this doesn't burn. Why on earth would you need this? And then sort of like goes back to being a flame again. So as not to draw attention to you or herself.
Shrugs and tosses it back to Barrick. I don't think she exactly eats it.
Okay. Nom, 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 nom.
Okay.
And it's gone in like a second after that.
Do you do like the whole like no hands, just like grab with your mouth?
Yeah.
Yes! On a totally unrelated
Oh, yeah, I
note,
have a
Redo is
shopping
off
list.
looking for shopping. So, did anybody have anything they wanted to purchase? Varric, we've already done you, so I will let you come back if you wanted to shop in a moment. So we have Arissa and Apricity, Redo and Vitheritas. Did you want to buy anything? or look for anything rather.
Well, Priscity's already given me a list of some things that she wants, so I presume. I mean, you saw it in the Facebook chat, so I assume that's all stuff I'd get at some kind of alchemy store.
Yes, to get.
So basically, so far, acid poison, herbalism kit, and then I'd quite like a gaming kit as well, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Hang on. Dig.
That is fine. You can definitely attempt to hunt those down. Let me have a look-see. Okay. Alright.
There is this back in my mode.
Okay. You can have a look around. You can't see any stalls, and as you head on further, you find there are shops as well. Sort of, there's like shops around the outside in a sort of circle, like a circle street with some streets leading off through them. So it's in sort of 4 quarters. And there's lots of very fancy, there's fabric shops and clothing and shoes and everything. The shops look fabulous. And the market is sort of a big circle of stalls in the middle, in sort of intertwining rows and things. As you're walking along, you can't see any stalls that seem to be selling a gaming set. Yes, you could probably find.
Someone mentioned about the black market when I asked about a poisonous set before, so we might have to go a bit dodge.
Interesting. Okay, so when it comes to the gaming kit, I feel like that would be quite easy.
The gaming set you can find, yes.
Yeah.
And
In which case, I'd do the kind of thing where it's like, do you want to buy that one, sweetie? Here you go, here's the money, you can buy it. That kind of thing.
okay.
But of course, it'd probably be Priscity's own money.
Yes.
But I'd be holding onto it for her because I'm her mummy.
Aww.
I would like some sort of gaming set that I can basically try and scam people with in pubs. You know?
Okay.
So like maybe some cards.
Okay. That will cost you. I should have a look down that thing.
I did write it down, but I can't find the piece of paper I wrote down the price. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's Laylee, so they usually charge a bit extra. Here we go. So you want like cards and things you can trick people with, yes?
Yeah, so like cards and maybe dice. Something that I could be good at, some kind of like card tricks and dice tricks, and I just want to make money out of people.
Okay, the total for that will be 6 silver.
Oh, wicked. I shall write that down, thank you.
In terms of the 2 items that were not to do with poison on your list, are the ones in stars, are they the ones that are desperately needed?
They were just the ones that I wanted first. But,
Okay.
you know, I'll take whatever comes.
Okay, because the acid, the poison, and the poisoner's kit, you don't seem to be able to find anyone selling anything of that ilk at all. You definitely, as you walk around, you cannot see anything magical at all.
Okay.
And in terms of disguise kits, you can see a shop selling very fancy masks. You can see a shop that's selling sort of custom-made wigs, but it's all looking very expensive, like full-on real hair kind of wigs and things.
I'm sure I can barter.
Well, see, I've already got disguise self as a spell. It was just, I thought that would be a useful thing to collect over time, but if it's going to be well expensive, I might just let people fend for themselves.
Okay.
A herbalism Cool. Like if I can make, even if they're really weak, like collect like healing herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
Even
That
if they're really, really sick.
Yeah, you can find one of those. It's not everything you would hope for, and it seems a little overpriced. It's 6 gold pieces, and it's a little sort of pouch bag that folds out, and it's got loads of little bits and pieces in it, and like a little chart in the middle of pictures of different leaves and what they look like and what they can do, but you don't get that many samples of leaves with it.
I'd like to bargain.
Okay.
I'd like to look very sad next to her while
Sure. Okay. The woman running the stall, she's selling like pot plants and flowers and some seeds and things, and she is wearing all black, and she has like a veil over half of her face. Aww. I love how you found like the same child every time, it seems. You're just following this child
It's
through
a
her
stock
life
kid.
and she just sads.
It's a stock kid.
Oh dear. Okay, so you're going to attempt to barter?
Yes.
Okay.
and actually by looking adorable.
Okay.
Yes, she won my cause. I'm really bad at bartering in real life, so I have no idea what to say.
Okay. Well, if she's going, but I don't have that much money, miss. Okay. The lady in all black with the veil sort of peers over the stall and says, "Oh, well, perhaps you can save your pocket money and come back for it, dear. Perhaps when you have done a few more chores, you can save some money. I'm sure your mother would be happy to give you some work to be done around the house. Take some of the weight off of her. Maybe you can earn it back and then come for it again."
Do I look like I
We
come
don't-
from the kind of family that makes their children do slave labor?
We
Well,
don't have a house.
well, no, of course, but there's no need to shout, dear, she says to you.
Ironically, I wasn't shouting.
Oh no, it's
Yes.
just at the child who's going, "But I need it now!"
Sweetie, please. Mummy will get this for you.
She says, "But of course, that's what the slaves are for."
Sorry, could you repeat that?
She says, "Of course not. That's what slaves are for, not children."
Do I look like the kind of person who has slaves?
She gives you an up and down look. "Well, I suppose not. I suppose I can let it go for 5.
Please, you and I both know that what's included in this kit isn't necessarily worth 5. Maybe 4? Probably 3.
Roll me a persuasion."
Left hand, don't fail me now. Nice. Okay. Make sure I got my math right. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Let me just see here. I'm going to use this pretty one. Okay. She looks at you. She sees that your hair is very golden. She sees that your eyes are sparkling and twinkling with the light of a mother who is not going to let her child down. And she smiles and she says, and she sort of adjusts the dark veil on her head and she says, "Well, it is what the Queen would have done. For I can do it for. In the name of the Queen, may she rest in peace."
Quick side note, how much money do you actually have? Or are willing to spend on it?
Yeah, I'll just take it, it's fine.
Okay, that's
We
fine.
can't really communicate much whilst
Yeah, this is why I was to say out of character. How much am I going for?
Money, don't worry, honey.
Out of character, how many hit points do you want left? On a scale of 1 to 32, I'm about to 17.
So I kind of raise my eyebrows, if like, kind of knowing that she could easily go down further, but not particularly wanting to argue.
I would like to, with my cute face on now, I'm going to rummage in my little pouch and go, but Mummy, I only have 2 gold and 2 silver left.
I give her a pointed look, her being the story.
And it is my birthday.
You wouldn't break your daughter's heart on her birthday, would you?
Alright.
And she kind of, her bright blue eyes turn a steely grey as she stares down this shop owner.
Okay.
Nice. That's playing dramatic music.
She leans across.
Verti suddenly grasps the.
She
Verti
leans
grasping
across
the warhammer in the
and
back.
she leans across and looks down at the fair golden child, and she says, "Did you love our queen, child?"
She was ever so pretty, even prettier than me.
The lady laughs. Well,
Good
then,
answer.
because it is your birthday, in the name of the late queen, may she rest in peace, I will give this to you for 2 silver pieces. Is that all right?
That's very nice of you. You are as nice as the queen.
Well, I do try, in her memory and her honour. And how old are you today, little miss?
I'm this many. And I hold up 4 fingers.
Wow, that's a big number. Here you go. And she hands you the Pat the Healer's kit. And what have you got for me? And she holds out her hand for the money.
I'm going to give her 2 silver and then like beckon her down to me so that she bends down, and I'm going to give her a kiss on the cheek.
Ah! The lady looks a little shocked and sort of pulls back. Oh, thank you very much, my dear. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Everyone's being Christian now.
My gaze has turned from the steely gaze to a nice soft smile, and she says, "Thank you. I knew you wouldn't let her down."
The lady just sort of waves at you regally and lets you walk along.
We shall leave the shop.
Kickstarter was yes.
That was incredible bartering.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was incredible rolling on the DM's part.
How incredible is incredible?
A 1 and a 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Okay, so you two cannot find anything else on your list. And as you carry on having a look about, Redo, what were you looking for?
Just any kind of clothes or accessories in a certain color.
Okay.
You're gonna go for red.
Ooh.
No.
I'm ready.
Purple.
Alright. Well, you can find you can't really find any market stalls that seem to be selling fabric and things. That all seems to be the shops, the very fancy shops. And you can actually see that there are 3 on the same side, and they all seem to be owned by the same company because they are called Priest's Robes, priest cloaks, and priest fabric.
Okay. Could I go into robes one?
Yes, you can go into the robes one. As you walk in, a little bell tinkles. The door is trimmed in sort of gold leaf paint, and it looks very ornate in here. They've got some incense burning, and it smells warm and sort of creamy, but with like a sort of peachy tint in the air. And you see that there are mannequins around wearing fancy robes. And there's a big counter in the middle of the room, and there's a dressing room and a measuring room and a table where you can put things down and an armchair to sit, and there's racks of robes and things. And they've also got lots and lots of fancy fabrics hung over the counter and various different things for you to look through as well. And there is a man stood behind the counter who is looking behind him currently into a back room, and he is calling something through, and you hear, yes, but hurry up, yes, thank you so much. Oh, hi, hello, well, welcome to Priest's Robes. What can we do for you today?
I'm looking for something rather special, but I'm not sure whether this is the right place. And I look around and be like, ugh.
Oh, what is it you're looking for exactly?
I would like an elegant red dress.
Yes, we can have a look on our racks if you'd like to have a look, and we can have some specially made for you as well, if that would be something you would like.
I don't have time to wait for custom, although I'm sure that nothing that you have in here is good enough for me. But can you just show me some of the dresses you already have for sale?
Yes, certainly. What shade of red would you be looking for? We have, and he leads you over to a tall rack filled with dresses, and it's almost all colours of the rainbow, and it goes from sort of creams and whites through to pinks, reds, blues. There are some purple ones down the other end, but you steer clear of those.
I turn towards him with a look that's like, oh, I have an idea, let's test this. And I ask him, what shade would you think would go best with my complexion?
And he hurriedly sort of tucks the hair behind his ears, and looks at you and sort of holds his hands up to his mouth, and considers. He looks from you to the rack, and he looks back to you and back to the rack. I would go for something bold for you, bold and bright. We've got two different shades that would definitely suit you. We have this one, and he pulls out a long flowing. It's not like neon red. It's like just a bright red. It's like a medium red, and it's bright coloured. And the other one is very bright as well, but it's a more burgundy red colour. It's very vibrant. It's not as bright as the medium red, but it's still quite a striking colour.
What kind of cut does the burgundy one have?
Oh, well, we've got the scooping neck, we've got the high lace neck, we've got the plunging back, and we have the wrap where you can it wraps, you see, and he takes it off the hanger and he wraps one, and it sort of wraps and loops around itself, so the dress itself comes a little bit like you would see in West Side Story. The sharks, the ladies, they have sort of their flamenco dresses, and it spins round and it wraps at the top, so it's got a skirt that sort of goes all the way up.
All the way
I
up.
think I would like to try this one on, if that's alright.
Yes, certainly. Here, this for you. I shall carry this for you. There's our changing room, and he lets you into the changing room. It's a big room covered with curtain in front. He hangs the dress up in the corner for you. Would you like a beverage to drink while you're trying on the dresses?
What can you offer me?
We have hot. We have cocoa. We have some herbal teas, and we have fresh spring water, and we also have some fruit juices. If you would like something cooler, and he keeps sort of looking behind him as well while he's saying this bit.
Mafia.
I'll have a green tea, please.
Yes, certainly. I shall be back. I shall knock before I come in. Of course. There's mirrors out here.
Better be loose teeth, right?
Oh yes. Of course. I shall make sure. Yes. And he shuts the drapes behind him, and you hear him go off into a back room, and you hear water and things being stirred and cups chinking. So you got the dress, the burgundy red one. It's sweeping. It's grand. It is your size.
Okay. I just look in the mirror, and then I shout at him. I don't suppose you have anything more flattering, do you?
God, I wish I was there to make sarcastic comments.
He comes back, and you can hear the chink of a cup on a tray. Of course, it depends what you would be looking for. Personally, I think this one, as you sort of step out, I think this one suits you magnificently. But if there's another style and shape you would like, we can do our absolute best to make only the finest finds for you. We have plenty more in the same shade of colour on our racks.
I told you I don't have time for that. Just tell me how much you'd like for this.
This one is off the rack with no alterations. It is DM just checks her notes quickly. It is 16 gold pieces.
Do you have anything to go with it? Any accessories or anything like that?
Yes. Would you like something in the same colour, or perhaps a contrasting but equally lovely colour?
What colour would you suggest?
If you want matching, we have some lovely shades of burgundy over there, and he shows you there's a line of bracelets, and they're like pearls, but they're not real pearl, but they're still quite fancy, and they've got all different colours on them, and there's some that are all different shades. Again, it goes from white to black with every shade in between, and there are burgundy ones that match the dress exactly. There's some goldy yellow ones that would also complement it that he points out to you. There's some silvery ones. There are purple again, but you avoid looking at those ones. They've also got black and they've got white, and obviously green, orange, everything in between.
Right. I think I would go for something gold.
Oh, excellent choice. We have 2 gold bracelets here, and there is a necklace also, if you would like that as well.
Show me the necklace, please.
This is it, here. And he lifts off a necklace. It dangles to just under where your collarbone is, and it's gold, tiny little beads, very fancy gold beads painted with gold leaf as well, going all the way around, and then it drops into a sort of teardrop gold pendant at the bottom.
Okay, I'll take that a lot.
Oh, marvellous. If you would like 2 bracelets and the necklace and the dress, we can throw that in as a deal for only 1 gold piece extra, so 17 in total, if you buy all 3.
Alright, that's acceptable.
Oh,
I just go to take off my dress.
all right. So you go to take it off, and you sort of as you throw it over the hanger and everything, he waits for you to be finished, comes in and collects it, and takes everything over to the till, where he wraps it up in very fancy paper, and it's all wrapped in a big parcel. You've got one big parcel, and inside you've got the dress wrapped up, you've got the 2 bracelets wrapped up, and the necklace all wrapped up separately, and then put in one big pile and wrapped in beautiful paper. It's then put into a bag, which is a sort of burgundy colour itself, but not the same shade as your dress, and it has sort of gold leaf up the sides. And on the bag it says priest robes.
Perfect. Thank you. I give him the money. Wait, let me just make a note of that.
Okay, so you give him the 17 gold, and he hands you the bag. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for your custom. Please to come again to see us at Priest's Robes. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
I'm sure I will. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye.
And I just walk out, and you can go back to Apricity now. Thank you.
That's all right. The Theratas, did you want to do anything? Because you haven't been yet.
He's still just bodyguarding.
Okay.
And
Watching
following Arissa
bemusedly. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, in which case, Apricity and Arissa, what are you guys doing at the moment? You have searched around and you cannot find any of the other things on your list. You also have noticed there is literally nothing magical here at all on sale.
Might be worth just. You can tell us to go away. Yeah, I will have mentioned to Arissa before backtracking that I wanted to find out about this guy, because obviously a 4-year-old asking about this would seem a bit weird.
Okay.
So
The
if
weather
Arissa
is quite pleasant. It's not too hot, not too cold, but there is sun in the sky and a few clouds overhead as well.
Thank you.
Jesus, yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Is Arissa there?
Yes.
Hi.
Ah.
Can you just pick a random person that is maybe like a stall holder that you might know, like local, and ask about this guy? I'm not expecting anything.
I'm trying to think who would be the best kind of person to ask. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, it was from Miss Segan, and she was like a herbalist in wherever we were, Crownside.
I'll just go to the most appropriate person I can see.
Okay. You see a stall towards the end where they seem to be just starting to set up. It seems like they're going to be selling soup for lunch. It looks like they're still chopping and cooking. They haven't started making it yet. It's not ready. It's all just ingredients right now. I'm very sorry. It's not lunchtime
Still
yet.
food. Still edible.
That's very true. You can try and buy their ingredients off them if you like. Okay. Yes, Rudy, you can have your shawl on. That is fine. And there are 2 guys and a woman there, and they seem to be sort of the most friendly.
Okay. I'll just go
Or
up to them
friendly
and go,
looking.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I may be a bit lost. Do you know if I can find somebody called, how do I pronounce it?
Jesus.
Jesus. So I just asked him if I can find someone by that name.
Yeah,
I won't
that's fine.
specify what he does.
Okay, that's fine. One of the men sort of shakes his head and looks confused. The woman also Theratas, you still have a pair of sexy red underwear in your bag, I've been told to remind you.
Oh yes.
Which obviously need to be worn at some point when you run out of other clothes. The woman shakes her head and tuts, and the other man, who is chopping some carrots and some other vegetables, he looks up and he says, "Oh yeah, yes, I believe I've heard people talking about him. Some say he's complete mad, some say he's genius. Do you know him personally? I've only heard the name."
Oh, not personally. I just know him. He's a friend of my husband. She kind of bats her eyelashes at him. Do you know where I could find him?
Your husband or Jesus? Because I'm afraid the answer's neither to both. I heard someone mention he came through here a while ago. People were raving about it. Apparently he upset the magician's stall because he stood in front of it and started telling people how they did all their tricks. They weren't too impressed by that. It seems he was sort of a wanderer. He moved along. I heard he came from Travis, which freaked me out a touch, I suppose. You don't hear of many people nice coming from around there. So it seemed a decent sort. Everything I heard was, well, either madman or genius. It seemed to be one or the other. Extremes he seemed to bring out in people.
So, would you be able to point me in the direction of the store that he stood outside of and discredited?
Oh, certainly. That's the what do they call themselves? Oh, and the two men who look like they might be brothers. They both say it together. The mystical, marvelous, magical snafu. Yeah, there he stood outside there apparently, and he always has these people flyering for him and bigging up his show. Haven't seen him actually today. They're normally around and about drumming up an audience. But they was stood outside, and apparently he stood there and debunked the whole lot. It's an odd one that obviously they announce off the bat. They say it's magic, but it's not dangerous magic, and not sure how they get away with that. To be fair, but apparently he was telling people how they did everything and made a few enemies. I suppose he moved along fairly sharpish.
Yes, I have heard of them. Well, thank you very much for your help.
No
And I hope you have a good day.
Oh, yeah, you too. If you're still looking for him, I think they'll be doing a show soon. Well, he usually does anyway. Just keep going and hang right at the end of here, and you'll you won't miss it.
Thank you so much. And she kind of like waves cheerily at the other two as well.
Okay.
Have a good day.
And you.
She takes the pretty kind of by the hand and goes, "Hey, sweetie, do you want to go see a magic show?"
Yeah, I love magic. Little pack of cards in my hand.
Therasis is just
And I kind of look at Therasis and kind of say quietly, "I think maybe we should go find Rido if it's to do with these people."
Make sure she's not killing things.
I believe it would probably be best if we all stick together, especially with the way these people over here treat foreigners.
Yes.
Alright, so you guys are going to go and hunt down Reedy?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you find her fairly easily. She is stomping along wearing her red shawl, and she's coming towards you guys and looking quite pleased with herself. Beep boop.
Huh.
Okay, so you guys There we go. Alright, so you guys have met up. Varric, I'm going to say you have now caught up with them as well.
Okay. so, can I try and sell my stuff and such in a bit?
You can try. What are
Or is
you
that
trying?
later on?
What have you got to try and sell?
Well, actually, quite a lot.
Okay.
I have the small game that I hunted because that's part of like being a hunter.
Yeah.
So that's 2 squirrels, a couple of rats, 3 skunks, some rabbits, and other various small game
Okay.
that I want to try and sell to whatever buys it.
Okay.
I have 2 daggers for sale and a quarterstaff.
Okay. Alright, well, the first thing that's easy enough for you to find is the people who are selling the food and things. They are looking quite interestedly. As you walk past, they are looking with interest and eagerness at your game and your caught things. And one of them, in fact, leans over and says, you selling? You selling this fine morning? We could do with some more. Our hunting team wasn't so fortunate this morning. We find ourselves a little short for the lunch rush.
Well, I'm certainly selling, but it all depends on the price.
Course. Come on over. Let's have a look. What have you got? So, what have you got that is a dead game that you can sell? Just tell me that one.
I have 2 squirrels, a couple of rats, 3 skunks, some rabbits, and undefined other various small game. So, like a little bit of like small animals that aren't defined before. Shall I type them out?
No, that's all right. I will see. Okay. He says, and he sort of looks at them all spread out across the table. That'd definitely help that. Yeah, we can do something with these, and in time for lunch, and there might be some leftovers for the dinner crowd too. Hey, Ma! And he calls to a woman who's older, and she comes out of the back. Yeah? And she, come look, this guy's selling. Oh, that'd help us out, yeah. How much you offering him? Well, he said it depends on the price, whether he's going to sell them or not. Oh, I see. And she sort of picks them all up individually and examines them. Well, you'd certainly be saving us from fate worse than death, hungry locals. I can offer you 6 silver, 5 copper for the lot.
You need to wrestle with you.
Is that... Wait, can I roll insight to see if they have more to offer?
Sure.
Ooh.
I think I feel like I don't know much about these people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you probably feel like you're not 100% sure how much this stuff would go for anyway, so...
You know what? You guys making the lunch, right? What you making?
Well, we're doing some pies, we're doing some like rolls, we're doing some sandwiches, we're doing some pasties, we're doing some dumplings. Dumplings come in a bowl with stew.
Throw in 1 bowl of stew with like dumplings, and you have a deal.
Certainly. I mean, you'll have to come back about midday to pick it up. We haven't finished prepping half of it yet, but you'd certainly be helping us out, yeah. If that's agreeable to you. And he holds out his hand to shake your hand for the deal.
I shake his hand and I leave the game on the table, like.
Yep, that's fine.
Holding my other hand out for the silvers and gold.
He counts it carefully from a pot hidden behind the counter that his mother brings out and then takes back into the sort of kitchen area with her. And he counts out 6 silver, 5 copper and hands it to you. I can't thank you enough, to be honest. Really saved our afternoon. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad I could be of help, and certainly looking forward to trying this too. It better be good.
Well, it's Mum's special recipe. Ma's again. She refuses to teach me. I keep saying, how's the store going to keep going when you're gone, Ma? But she keeps saying she's never going to be gone. And, well, who wants to get into that argument, eh?
Yeah, that makes sense that you wouldn't want to argue that.
Just at that moment, you guys hear a rumbling noise. You can't quite tell where it's coming from. You instinctively look up, but there's only a few white clouds in the sky. You can't hear any thunder. Can you all roll me a dexterity save, please?
Uh-oh.
I'm screwed. Oh, thank God I'm not actually screwed.
Ugh. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, Apricity, you have to hang on tight to your mum.
No.
Redo, have you done a dexterity save? Meanwhile, Varric, you're okay. Arissa, yeah, the rest of you are okay. You feel the ground underneath you start to shake. Just a little at first, and then as the rumbling gets louder and louder, the stall owners sort of look at each other and they share looks of, again, and they grab onto the sides of their stalls and catch plates and things before they can sort of shuffle off the edge. And the whole city seems to quiver and shake from the ground up. And a few people are knocked to their feet, a few children who are bouncing a ball to each other. The ball gets lost as it bounces off and away along the trembling ground. And the kids try to chase after it but fall on their hands and knees. A few people who are laden down with early morning shopping and things, especially a lady with large plants. She trips and stumbles and has to pick up one of her broken plant pots as well. Redo, you, similar to Apricity, you stagger and stumble. You have to grab onto the side of a stall to keep yourself from falling off. Betheritas is angry. Betheritas is on a mission today.
He's gonna kill every single one of them.
Arissa, I encourage you to try.
Well, it's a cantrip, so.
I encourage you to do.
Then I shall do, but I'll try not to make it obvious it was me.
Okay.
Secretly wiggling fingers.
In which case, roll me a sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, please, Arissa.
Okay, that's gonna be
A sleight of magic.
could have been worse.
So you're not shouting, "It was me!"
I'm banking on the fact that we've just had an earthquake. She didn't notice.
She
Add a
doesn't
dance number
notice.
to it.
She doesn't notice it was you, but she sees her plant reattach itself in the pot, reattach, and it all comes back together. And she, as she goes to sort of scoop it up, she very nearly drops it again. The piece she was holding that is now zoomed back together, the sort of the pieces of soil in her hand, she drops, and she sort of stares at it. And she leaves the plant in the plant pot that's now been mended on the ground, and she hurries away from it.
Alright, I'm gonna take the plant.
There you go.
That was her plan all along.
Put that in my notes.
Was it? But it's my plant now. What kind of plant is it? Can I do a nature check?
Yes.
It's a poison ivy.
It kills you.
You're terribly allergic and you die.
You Rosie going, oh shit, what is this plant?
I know what the plant is.
She's now using a random plant generator to find out what plant it is.
Just types into Google in capital letters, give me a plant!
Any plant! Was it a 13 again for your nature check?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. It is not fully in bloom yet, but from the little you can see, and it's got green, it's all green and fairly normal looking, except it has little leaves but no flowers. But what you can see coming out where the flower bud would be, hanging quite low, you can see tiny little red things growing, and it looks like they're going to be tomatoes.
No.
I now have a tomato plant, yay!
Jealous.
You can now keep Varric happy forever!
If that's a thing you want to do, of course.
Hang on, I need to write that down. Tiny tomato plant.
What are you gonna name it? I mean, come on, Arissa seems like the kind of girl who would name her plants.
Yeah. And she's also the kind of girl that would sing to her plants to
Yes!
She's a bard after all.
Do we have a name for the plant? Because I'll write that in my notes right now.
Evan.
Evan.
He'll be so proud to have a plant named after him.
Evan.
I'm gonna tell him.
When in doubt, always name it.
It's because my Snapchat went off. It's not even from Evan, but I've been talking to him and Snapchatting him a lot, so.
I love it. Also, Varric, could you please make me a dexterity check?
Of course. 26? Yeah,
Okay.
26.
Okay. In which case... Okay. Varric, you, as the quaking ground is shaking, a few things dislodge from your hands while you've handed over the animals and everything. And something from your bag spills, and your little tan bag falls out. You manage to catch it, but a little fluffy thing goes flying out of it, because the way you catch it is your hand sort of catches it from inside as it opens, and a little furry ball goes flying out and goes doo, 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 and it rolls off into the crowd. Now, I'm going to leave this up to the person who it involves, which is our brand new NPC.
Can I audibly go, uh-oh.
Whenever you are happy, you can type in chat that you would like to walk up to them and find them, because you're currently going to appear in the middle of the crowd and you're going to have to work your way towards them. You will instinctively know where Varric is.
Hey, buddy.
Also, Varric, I will be reminding you of a conversation we had in a little bit.
A conversation we had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Varric has a bag of endless pets. That's just what this is now. So it's turning into, like, you know, what is it?
Publicity, it's my pet gun.
Very good.
Redo, can you make me a perception check, please?
Oh my god, is it purple?
11.
11. Okay. You catch a snatch of speech you hear someone shouting, "Come on, come all, see the amazing, mystical, marvelous snafu!" And you can hear it's quite close to you now. It's just round the corner, and you caught the name Snafu, which made you hear the rest of it. Meanwhile, Varric is looking a bit confused, and everyone else, you're all steady on your feet now.
Can I actually try to look around for my for some more shopping options, or should I wait with that?
What are you looking for?
Can I? Sorry, while he goes off shopping, can I just like start moving away from the group and towards where I heard the thing?
Yeah, sure. So Redo starts heading off ahead of you in the direction sort of out of this section of the market and off towards some other piece. Arissa and Apricity, she's heading in the direction you were pointed by the brothers, who said that was the direction of the stand where Jesus had been standing outside dismissing things people have been saying.
I think we should follow.
Yes, Mama.
I did that in such a creepy kind of voice. I think we should make sure he doesn't get into trouble. Auntie Redo.
Auntie
Doesn't get into any
Oh,
trouble.
No.
Okay.
You are Auntie Redo.
So
hug
the
right now.
Theratas, does that mean you're now
Yeah.
following Arissa? Okay, so Redo, you have a train of people conga lining it behind you. Varric, you are looking for a whip of minister. Well, you don't want bloody much, do you?
You won't be able to find a poisonous kit.
Oh yeah, of course, poisoner's kit is not gonna work.
You cannot find a poisonous kit. You cannot find thieves' tools. You can't see a blowgun or a trident. A whip you may be able to buy because you can see people who make horse saddles, and they have they do horseshoes and everything as well, and it looks as if they have some sort of riding crops, and they have training whips that they use to sort of whoosh the horse as they ride around in a circle. So, did you want a I haste to say dungeon master whip, like a short sort of horse whip, or did you want a long flaily one?
The long flaily one, if possible.
Okay, you want the long flaily one.
I'll save the other one for better situations.
Okay, are you buying both, or are you just going to buy the long flaily one?
Wait, could you repeat that?
Would you like to buy both of them, or just the flaily
I'm
one?
putting in, people!
Depends on the price.
Well, the long flaily one is 3 gold pieces. The short special one is 4.
Both. And then I hear the Elvish behind me, so I
Okay.
probably throw the money at the guy, take the stuff, and turn around going,
Okay.
well.
Hey, I needed to enter somehow.
Hi there.
Okay.
I'm new
By the
here.
way, are you supposed to describe what I look like, or how does
Yes.
it work?
I'm gonna say,
yes,
Varric, you turn around. I was waiting for you to say, I turn around. I was like, now you've turned around, you may
Or you
describe.
say something first.
You may describe what you look like.
I can describe it? Oh, okay.
It's way more fun when you describe yourself.
Okay, so, let me just get, I forgot how much it is in inches. I don't know if you go with centimeters or inches.
Okay, can you go centimeters for
Okay.
me, if you know
So,
that?
a blonde, blue-eyed elf with braids in her hair and a night covered by her bangs is standing placidly behind Varric. She is tall, and she seems very, very bored. She has a long coat that pulls around the middle, making a sort of cape. And underneath it, she has a dress that's a little poofy at the end. She has several belts going around the corset on her chest. She has a hood over her head. She has a simple bag, and high-heeled boots. I will have all of this drawn in a few days. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it at the con because people were too expensive this year.
That's okay. So, Varric, you are met with a very interesting sight. And she's looking at you as if... the best way to describe it is she looks as if she knows you, although you don't recognise this person at all. She looks as if she knows who you are, and she is talking to you for a purpose.
Hello. Yeah, you said you know certain shops. Do you know your way around here? Are you from here?
I do apologize if that was a little messy. I'm not used to describing out loud. I'm used to describing it in writing. So
Yeah, no worries.
bear with me for a while.
That is fine. It's up to you as well. If you feel more comfortable typing, you can always type and then we can read it out, or to begin with, etc., etc., or you can speak as well. That's fine. Varric has wandered off alone a little bit. Yes, you and Arissa are following Redu, and the Theritas and Novinye are following you two.
It will also help me if you could tell me you know what about you know who.
I'm
going Harry Potter on this.
I have no idea who this Voldemort you're talking about is.
Would you outright ask him, or would you already know instinctively what you're going to help him with?
I would already know.
You already know. That's fine. In which case, you wouldn't need to ask him any of that, so that's fine. I already told you what his was. It hasn't changed.
Did you? I don't think you did.
I will message it to you again now.
Oh my god.
I don't remember receiving it, at least.
That's okay.
It's
a little simple, but don't worry, it's fine. I'm just going to message it. I'm going to message it to you now.
No way. Is this about the thing you asked me?
I've asked you several things.
Yeah, but you asked me one very, very specific thing that I had to, answer 4 times because I needed to be sure about it. I mean... Blonde and elven, that...
Okay. So...
Oh, this can take a very different turn depending... Oh, okay. I want to type this out because I can speak it loud.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of different ways that you can interpret that. It doesn't have to be literal.
Yes,
it could be the group right now. It could be this group. You could just
I know.
So in a way, it's good. It can be anything. There you go. Sorry to be cryptic, but I don't want to spoil surprises for people.
I think I know where this is going.
Speak it loud.
I think I know in part where this is going.
Meanwhile, by the way, just while we're sorting this out, you guys appear in front of... Redu is at the front, and you can hear a man's voice shouting, "Come on, come all, see the amazing, mystical, marvellous snafu!" And you can see a tall man wearing purple flowing robes, and he's standing on a platform. He's standing on a platform on a stage beside a small caravan and horse, and he's calling to the crowds to come and see his great illusions. You.
Sorry, go on.
That's okay. I'm just checking I've said everything you need to be said. He's just.
You need to speak to me.
He's calling over the crowd.
What? I'm so confused.
You're supposed to be. It's fine. Redo, he's shouting over the crowd, no tricks, no illusions, no real magic here, ladies and gentlemen, never fear. Look what the mighty Snafu can do without any magic. Soon, come and see. And a lot of people have sort of started to gather with you as well. And the rest of you get there as well, except for Varric, who I shall jump back to now. Varric, yes, you're being spoken to.
Quickly, do I need to do a strength check to pick up apricity?
Yes.
I'll reply to you in a bit, Benifi.
I think that might do it.
Do I need to roll to see how heavy I am?
Your normal weight.
You can roll to assist her if you like.
Yeah.
Please.
What am I rolling? I rolled a 14 just on a 20.
Strength, I think.
Yes. Sorry, just replying at the same time to people's.
Oh, I've got no strength.
That's okay. Well, to be fair, between the two of you, I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
So you have sort of caught up to Redo, and you've heard this guy over the crowd. Vitheritas, you notice all of this hullabaloo, and you see Redo standing there, and you see the gnome upon Orissa's shoulders, acting the part of a child. Oh no, there's a picture. Yay! Shutterstock child is back! Oh.
I know I found a better one.
So, Varric, you and your companion start to walk sort of with the crowd now. You can keep having your conversation, but the crowd itself is starting to move. Well, you're confused half conversation. You are starting to move towards where the rest of them are. A lot of the crowd is coming towards the Snafu stage as well. So just so you guys know, you will be able to hear anything that's said on the stage, but you don't have to pay attention if you don't want to. Varric.
Well, I'm obviously distracted.
Varric, the more you look at this person, you feel a weird sensation. It's not quite a bond. It's like a feeling of this has some importance, but you don't know what yet. It's like a memory you can't quite put your finger on, but there's something important here. You haven't quite got it yet.
I'll flat out ask her. Do I know you? You. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the long journey breaking up my brain, but do I know you? And might I ask your name?
No, you may not ask her name, obviously.
Obviously.
Apparently.
That's fine.
So, if I can't ask your name, how may I call you? More silence.
I think at the moment she's just looking at you, sizing you up and thinking for the moment.
Wait, do I need to answer him, or was that sarcasm?
You don't have to.
I was asking you questions.
But you did ask my name.
You can answer him if you like.
Ah, okay. I thought it was sarcasm. I don't know you guys well enough to know when you aren't kidding and when you are kidding.
That's okay. I mean, you can decide. I was thinking it was perfectly in character to not answer if you didn't want to,
Yes.
but you can. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, let me just...
And now I don't have to ask you to spell it. Yes. So,
It's okay.
Hannibal.
don't worry, her surname is not Lecter.
Horrible name for a child.
Do
You know that someone actually named their kids these names? That was a shocker.
do I know you from somewhere?
Oh god, that evil cackle.
That was a really evil laughter. I am now scared for the answer.
Don't worry, it wasn't an in-game cackle.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog licked his feet.
My dad does that all the time.
So sorry. The cackle was not an answer to does Varric know you? But yeah. So do you know Varric? He's asking.
And I guess the ears were the giveaway for that I speak Elvish.
I'm gonna ignore that. Yeah.
You seem familiar. I don't know, but it's just that something about you says to me that I've met you before. Are you sure that's not possible? Frantic typing in the background.
If anyone's typing to me, send it to my Kiki account because I can't read it while we're on stream on this one.
Everything is so silent after I join in. I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
That's okay. You're the interesting new character. You get to make them feel bad. That's how it works.
I'm down, Rosie. God.
There you go. I was just quiet because I had someone talking to me.
That's okay.
Just beware of Varric, he might shoot an arrow at you.
What?
I have an awesome
Verity?
evil laugh, but there are people in the house, so I can't do it. It's too loud.
What was that, Varric?
Well, someone or Rob mentioned that I might shoot you, and if it's 30, then definitely yes.
At least I don't have damage.
This is true. I'm going to bounce to you guys by the stage for a minute. Redo, you're at the front. Apricity, you're on Arissa's shoulders. And Vitheritas,
Yeah.
you are behind them.
Yep.
you have heard the man in purple robes say, come and see mystical, marvellous, mighty Snafu. No real magic. He's been very good. No real magic. It's all illusions and tricks, but look what I can do. And he's gathered a small crowd, and some music begins to play from a wind-up music box, and he comes back onto the stage, and some children at the front start to cheer and clap, and he waves a hand around the crowd and he says, thank you for your patience this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I sadly have no flyers this morning. They obviously have all slept in, can't think where they've got to, can't get the stuff, terrible, but I'm a one-man show, and a one-man show I shall remain, the mystical, marvellous, magical Snafu. He waves to Apricity on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Hello, little miss. Oh, I'm so excited to see the mystical, marvellous, magical Snafu. Love it. And you, sir. And he points over towards Betheratus. You're looking splendid this morning. Cheer up. You're in the capital. And he then proceeds to perform several magic tricks. He winks at you as you wave your pack of cards, and he does several tricks. The first one is that he brings a barrel onto the stage. He rolls it on, and he gets... Oh my god, wow! Says Arissa, already impressed. He rolls on the stage, he spins it round so that you can see that there is nothing in it and there's nothing at the bottom, and he tips it up on the stage, and he climbs and he stands with one foot on either side of it, and then he bows, waves, and jumps into the yeah, you two are definitely watching this now. He jumps inside the barrel, and then there's silence. 3 black rats appear on the side of the stage, sniffing the air and looking towards the barrel. And then another barrel rolls onto stage by itself. It rolls into the middle of the stage and then rockets around a little, and then out of it bursts the mystical, marvellous, magical Snafu in his purple robes flowing. He bursts out of the second barrel and stands before everybody, having reappeared, and takes another bow. He rolls the other barrel back off the stage, throws the remnants of the second barrel, looks towards the rats, and sort of goes to kick one with his foot, and as his foot slides through it, he says, "Ha! Huh." And then he peers closely at the other 2 rats, and then he looks around the crowd, and his eyes meet you, Redo. And just for a second, his stage demeanour wavers. He jumps and looks around, and then remembers that he's in front of a crowd of people. And he continues on. As he continues, he always keeps looking to you, Redo, as if making sure he knows exactly where you are. He then does a trick where he quaffs a lot of ale, and then he disappears behind the ale barrel, and then reappears standing on the roof of his caravan. He then runs inside his caravan and locks the door behind him, and then reappears walking onto the stage from the opposite direction. He does a lot of tricks where he vanishes and disappears. He appears from the back of the crowd and walks through them. He appears from the other side. He appears from the fish stall down the road, waving fishes at people. Yes, Arissa would notice this. He also has a look around the crowd again, and as he's scanning and he meets Redo's eyes, he also briefly locks eyes with you, Varric. And his face turns into a scowl. continues on with his act, and he finishes with another grand illusion where he disappears in a puff of smoke and glitter and reappears in the very centre of the crowd from no one seems to know entirely where. He rushes up onto the stage, leaps on top of the little platform he was standing on at the beginning, takes another massive bow, and says, "Thank you one, thank you all! The mystical, marvellous, magical snafu shall return later this afternoon to dazzle and amaze you. Thank you everybody!" The cantrip comes through to Snafu Shampoo, saying you're a joke. He immediately looks straight to you, Redo, and Varric, he looks to you separately and beckons you with a finger to come to the side of the stage. Yep. To come to the side of the stage, and he's like scowling and he's looking directly at you, and he doesn't stop watching you as he gestures to you to come.
I look over at Hannibal and I go,
Oh, wait, sorry, I need to write this. I thought he disappeared.
He'd been disappearing and reappearing as part of his act, and then he reappeared at the end, and he's now finished, and now he is asking Redu and Varric to come and say hello.
I
Does
look
he
at
have a
Redu.
thing against elves?
I look at Redu. I look back to Hannibal, and I go, "I'll be back in a bit. That man seems to want to have a word with me, but I don't like the way he's looking, so I'll be back soon." And then I put one hand on my bow, like I take my bow from my shoulder so that it's in my hand, and one hand on my quiver, like on my hip quiver. And that's how I walk over.
How far away are the rest of us from the side of the stage you're standing at?
You're not too far away, especially because the crowds are starting to disperse. You can all roll a perception check if you want to see if you notice where the two of them have gone.
Just to make sure, Vanabelle followed Varric. She didn't leave him.
You would know where he is instinctively, and you can follow him. You can hang back a little, but you can follow him.
That was not a great roll, but hopefully it's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, so her eyes narrow, and she follows him from far away, but she keeps her eyes on Varric the whole time.
Do I notice that Hannibal is following?
Roll me a perception, Varric, and you can have a look. Okay, Arissa.
I'm glad I'm good at this.
Arissa, you notice where they've gone. You don't know why though. Brissadu, you're too busy being fussed over to notice anything. But Theratas, you only notice that they have gone and where because Redu cantripped and sent you a message saying, "I'll be right back. I need to go talk to the imposter."
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Redu.
You're welcome.
You saved me from a really, really bad dice roll.
And
So
yes,
I'm
Varric,
taking
you
my
notice that she's
warhammer out
behind
and
you.
resting it on shoulder.
Okay. The other people who have children have started to skirt even further away from you as they walk past. Have you done Matt Mercer's one yet though?
No, I haven't seen the map one.
Something.
Okay.
For those who don't want to say Hannibal, you can just call me Hannah.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
It's easier.
I will say that you have said that to Varric as well at some point, if that is okay.
When I ask for her name, probably.
Yes.
Yes, you can say that.
Yeah. That is fine. Okay, so
Oh, she doesn't allow anyone besides Varric to say Hannah. I'm just saying in the chat in general.
yeah. That's okay. And also good for people to know. Statistical analysis! I agree. Okay. So you guys watch and keep an eye, and you see that the mystical, marvelous, magical snafu scowls as Redu and Varric approach him. And Redu, I'm assuming that your spellbook is still in the same place, and therefore the edge of it is still visible.
Yep.
He immediately looks down and his eyes widen and then narrow as he looks at the spell book. And then he turns around and leads you to the door of his caravan. The horse is not attached to it, it's just stood behind the stage. He shoves open the door
Ooh.
and he goes inside and he stands holding the door open for you. And you just hear him say, "Come on."
Can I make the horse move away from the vehicle?
Yeah, well, the horse isn't by the vehicle. It's not attached to anything. It's attached to like a post nearby.
Yeah, so it's not easy to for him to lock the door behind us and then attach the horse and go.
Sure. How do you want to send the horse away? You can unattach. You can try and unattach it from its current holster. What do you want to do?
I have a training whip.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I pull the rope loose that ties him to the thing,
Okay.
and I'll quickly whip once with the training whip to make him walk,
Okay.
so that he's just trotting away from like where the snafu camp is,
Okay.
and then I follow along inside.
Okay. Snafu saw what you did, but seems more bothered about speaking to you. And he sees the horse slowly just sort of trotting about the market. People are looking at it confusedly, and he just sort of, as you enter the caravan, he sort of says, "I'll get it back or I will get another. Come and speak to me now." So he holds the door open for you. Are you both going in?
I am. Yeah.
I'm sticking close to Ridu, so yes.
Okay, in which case he gets you both inside the caravan, pokes his head out the door, and then shuts it behind you. You find yourselves in a sort of cramped Romani-style gypsy caravan. It's quite simple. It's got a fold-out bed, which is always also a seat, a load of cooking pots and things in one corner, some logs and wood that are used for fires, several books, a big map with scribbles all over it, and it's also got little black crosses on various different parts of Mercer. And some of them are scribbled out in like red.
Can I look at the map more closely, investigate?
Yeah, sure. Roll me an investigation.
Can I memorize the map?
Never mind, I got a nat one.
Rosie,
Sure, Varric, you can memorize the map. Yes, it is just a map of Mercer.
Yeah, but it's
Hannah is
useful to
outside
know
the carriage. She's leaning against the wall of the carriage outside. She has her eyes closed, and if someone looks closely at her, they can see something foggy on her forehead, but nothing else. Just fogginess.
I know.
Heat wave.
And DM knows what you're doing. I like it. Good to know. You guys noticed that as well. You spotted that Varric was speaking to someone who is now leaning against the caravan. But other than that, you're not sure. Okay. Inside the caravan, yes, it's a map of Mercer. It's the world of Mercer, and it has several black crosses drawn on it, mostly scattered throughout Travis and a few in Borsin, and a couple in Risha. So far, it doesn't have anything on Amley, and most of them are actually now scribbled out. There's like black crosses, and then sort of red ink that goes through them, squiggling them out. And Redo, you don't notice this, but Varric, you notice that one of them is in the very spot where you met Redo.
I instantly turn around, knock an arrow, aim it at the head, and I go, "Who the fuck are you?"
Okay. He says to you... Alright, 1 second. I'm just going to check I've got this bit right. He says, "You can put that down for starters, boy. It should be I who's threatening you. You both ruined my life."
Well, you probably deserved it.
What do you mean we ruined your life? I've never met you before.
I think we did.
Yeah, we've met before, you little sneak thief. That! And he points at the spell book. And he is no longer in his, stage presence voice. He's now common and angry. That is mine.
Don't you dare call her a thief.
Ooh, you're in trouble.
Oh, no, we aren't.
I am no thief, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. And what is your story of how you got that book then? Huh?
Well,
Is it
probably how you screwed up.
I screwed up. I wake up, it's gone, and she was the last person to be there, and now she has it. Coincidence? And don't you go talking to me. And he points at you, Varric. You was there, you helped. It was all your fault. If you hadn't distracted me, none of this would have happened.
I saw what you tried to do.
What?
Of course I had to save her.
What did you see? You didn't see me do nothing to her. She wandered through like an imbecile, same as you, actually. 2 morons in one day, and look what they did to me.
I suggest you alter your tone a bit.
He actually looks at you a bit surprised for a second, and he says, "Hang on, this is to you, Varric. Where's your double?
My what?
Your double! Come on, where is he?
My what?
Your double!"
He's double.
Just
My
in case.
double.
Just in case anyone couldn't hear that properly. Yeah! Oh, come on, we can drop the pretense now. And he knocks 3 times on the side of the caravan. This is not the side that Hannah's on, it's the other side, but you can hear it. And you hear some footsteps come around the side of the caravan. The door opens, and inside steps another snafu. Exactly the same, head to toe, same robes, everything. Like twins. Down to the last tiny little freckle near his nose. They both look human. Sort of late 40s. He looks late 40s, but from the greying hair, you can tell he's probably closer to 50, 58.
So, you're saying that I'm an imbecile. You do realize that the double... I don't have one. What the fuck are you going on about?
Of course you do. You stepped through it, didn't ya? I was trying to get you not to. You came and interrupted, didn't you moron? I was just examining it, seeing what it did. And then you come striding through, not looking where you're going. You stepped through and bam, there it is. I was so surprised, I fell through myself, and then poof, I looked to the side and there's mine, right next to me.
So what you're saying is there's a me out there somewhere?
Well, yeah. It would have been right next to you at that moment. Although, to be fair, you messed up my spell when I was just trying to see what the thing in the air was that you and I ended up fucking falling and stepping through. And then, of course, I lost me concentration and the spell exploded everywhere, blasting me, knocking me unconscious.
Can you both just tell me what the fuck you're on about?
I would, but I have no idea what this nutcase is talking about.
It's simple.
I have no memories from that night. Can someone please tell me exactly what happened?
Well, it to me it looked awfully like that bugger there tried to attack you. I came in to save you, and then we woke up on the you woke up on the edge of the forest.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Sorry, I was asking, attacking me how?
Oh.
he was using magic. And, I mean, it makes sense now. Look at the color of his robes.
I'd rather not.
Of course you don't like the color purple after he tried to attack you.
I didn't try to attack no one. I was just minding my own business. A poor, young, teenage magician on his way in the world, and I found this thing in the air, glistening, and it looked like a hole or a tear or something. Of course, I wasn't going to touch it, so I did some experimental spells on it. Nothing that the college ever taught me, of course. That's might be why I got kicked out. But nevertheless, it was telling me things, and I was thinking maybe I can use this. It's some sort of portal that don't close or something. And then, as I'm halfway through my concentration, you come wandering through, eating some blueberries, not looking where you're going. You walk straight through it, and then suddenly, poof, there's two of you. And I fall through in surprise. The whole thing explodes because my spell backfires. I'm blasted aside. My friend is blasted aside. He's pointing to his double now. You is blasted aside. Maybe your double died. I don't know. But there was definitely two of you. I saw you. It happened to me, same as it happened to you. Same as it's happened to others. Either there's more than one. More than one of those little rips in the air. And if you step through, poof, there's two of you. And as for you... He points to Redo now. As for you, she was there. I saw her wandering about while I was trying my incantations. I ignored her because she wasn't too close to me, but you probably got hit by my blast. I'm not apologising for it. It's his fault. And he points at Varric. That's probably what knocked you unconscious, but you was there. And then when I woke up, my spell book was gone. Missing, as well as the two of you. And you, he points at Redo, were the last person conscious. It must have been you. And now I see you've got it, so you can kindly return my spellbook to me now, right?
You have no proof that this spellbook belongs to you. I didn't steal anything.
And besides...
Sorry, go on.
And besides, she's not gonna give it to you.
Obviously. I don't remember seeing you, or Varric for that matter. I do remember purple enchanting, so you were probably casting a spell, I presume? Then I simply woke up and the spell was in my hands.
Well then tell me this. How did my spellbook get from me to you? He's looking at you now, Varric.
That... Well, I... Rosie, out of game?
Yes.
What do I know about this?
From the conversations we've had, the only thing you remember is that you vaguely recognise this guy because you saw him and he looked like he was doing some sort of spell. You saw Redo on the opposite side of this clearing to him, and it looked, for all intents and purposes, like he was casting something towards her. There was then a massive explosion. She flew backwards. His spellbook was blasted. What you don't know is that the spellbook was actually blasted off him, out of his hands. You didn't see he was holding it. And blasted towards her, and it landed at her feet. Anything else that happened to do with doubles you didn't see or remember, because you were thrown by the blast as well, and you landed quite close to Redo. You were possibly unconscious for a few minutes, I think we decided, and then you woke up, saw Redo her, saw the spell book, and were like, ha, that must be yours. This is why we have many out-of-game conversations, you see. I have written a timeline of events. I also know that this happened 40 years ago.
Oh my.
Quick question before I go back in-game, basically. Do I notice that... Do I know that...
lifespans of the elves.
Do I know that Hannah is nearby? Because I noticed that she was sneaking after me.
You did notice that she was following you, didn't you? Because you scored quite highly on that one. So you've got a feeling. You can't explain it. It's not a bad feeling. It's like you probably didn't see it. There was an advert for cup of soup, and it was called a hug in a mug, and it's like that feeling of just warm. It's like that, but it's not like the cozy warm. It's just like a feeling of like something near you that it's like a buzzing against your body. Like you can sort of feel it. You feel like she's close. You feel like there's some sort of attachment there.
Okay. In that case, I'll.
Wait, are you telling this to who?
He just feels it. He feels that you are close by. Like, you know how
you're talking to Barrett? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was.
You can feel him differently. You can completely sense where he is and follow him. He can only feel a sort of a buzz sort of near you. Like he can tell, but he doesn't know why yet. You obviously understand it way better than he does.
Later
at
on,
this point.
when he concentrates a bit more, he'll be able to hear a hum, like a person humming. But that's the only thing he'll be able to hear. A soft sound, like a voice.
Oh, cool.
That is
for
the
now,
buzzing.
though. Oh, cool. That's cool. That's really cool. For now, I will actually mention to that snafu. Well, for starters, if that book is yours, why the fuck did you lose it? I mean, you pretend to be like this spellcaster. You pretend to do magic.
Well, I'll have to pretend to do it now, don't I? I ain't got no magic powers without me book. And they don't exactly take kindly to real magic here, so I had to make do and mend. And of course, there being two of us, we thought we could, do some disappearing, reappearing. Works quite well.
What magic user loses his book?
Well, apparently one that has some stupid elf wander through his incantation.
Wait a second, he calls me stupid, right?
Yes, yes, he does.
Repeatedly.
Oh, you guys sound so cartoonish. It's amazing.
Okay, I still haven't put back my bow.
Oh no.
I'm casting Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
I'm casting Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing for now, and then I'll say to him, well, maybe if you would have, paid attention to your spellbook, you wouldn't have flung it. Like, if you say you had this book. Last I remember, it was all across the entire clearing. So you clearly flung this thing across the clearing.
Oh, I see. So it's just Vinder's capers now, is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's the forest. It's you do realize that it's the forest of the
that'd be thy rule, though.
Without that book, you shouldn't even have survived. And it's only the strong who deserve to live. You take what you want. And clearly, you didn't take it. So now it's hers.
The double of Snafu turns to the, as far as you are aware, real Snafu, and says to him, Pure, I don't think they're gonna listen. I don't think this is a fight we're gonna win. We can just keep doing what we're doing. And the real Snafu says, Piao, drop it. This is a fight I've been waiting to win for a while. And Redo, you notice that the first one is called Pure and the second one is called Piao, which together spells Pure Pal.
Of course.
You're all just going to spend the rest of the session inventing things to say about Snafu, Twatfu, Twatisafu, Snaftu, Twitwoo. Honestly. Why do I make NPCs for you to mock?
Well, this one deserves it. He called me an imbecile.
That, to be fair, that is true.
Everything. Wait! Did he say this is a fight I want? This is a fight I've been waiting to win.
Yes, he did.
you know
about
what?
to shoot someone at 2 feet distance in a trailer, aren't you?
No, I have a better idea.
Oh,
a way better idea.
Do tell.
Can she use dissonant whispers from outside?
You
yes. Yes, you can.
She uses it on double number 1.
Okay.
So is that pure or pal?
The double or the real one?
Double number 1. The first one, the real one.
The real one.
I called them 1 and 2.
It's snap one.
Snap one, snap two. Okay. Yes. Would you like to describe the effect? Which spell are you using?
Wait, I have to go search for it again. It's there. I had it written somewhere, but
That's okay.
Silent
so
Whisper,
much-
you said?
Just tell
Okay.
me the name of it, and I will double check everything as we go.
I was checking it too. Dissonant Whispers.
Distance this. Yeah. I just want to check that before I say anything that I can remember this correctly.
Oh, God.
Yes, it's 60 feet, so you can use it then. Okay, so I'm going to do him a wisdom saving throw. So what we need is your spell DC, which it should have been worked out using your...
I sent it that by message, I
Never
think,
mind.
info.
He rolled a 3, so it doesn't matter. He's not going to win anyway. Okay, so you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice can hear, racking it with terrible pain. Pain.
I'm gonna live forever.
He's now in terrible fame. Oh no, I'm a Kardashian.
Shit, we gave him what he wanted.
So, would you like to roll 3d6s to deal his damage?
Okay, a second. Still trying to get the use of these dice. Okay.
You give him
That's a
distance
5.
for me.
That's a 3. And that's a 6.
14.
Nice. Okay, 14 points. I'll note that down for Snafu number 1. There it is.
Ooh, Snafu 1 is now below max health. And he angered me, and he's away from me. He's within shooting distance now. And that's the one Hunter's Mark is on.
And those fucking hours hurt.
Hang on. It was 14 total, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. He's not quite
Does
down
he?
to half hit points, but he's nearly there.
Rosie,
Yes.
he mentioned he
course,
he
both
was
of them have
waiting
no idea
to
what
win
just
this
happened,
fight.
It's fine.
Yes.
He was waiting to win this fight. He called me an imbecile several times.
Uh-oh.
He insulted Ridu several times.
Okay. He does at this
I'm
point
shooting him.
clutch his head and sort of go, ah! So I will allow you to make your attack roll with advantage.
Thanks. So that's with my arrow.
Sure, if you're shooting him, with advantage. Also, could everybody outside the caravan except Hannah, because she's aware of what's going on, could you all make a perception check for me?
Ooh, Rosie,
Everyone?
Everyone
Rosie?
outside the caravan, yes. Yes?
Oh, come on.
can I use my second arrow? My second arrow thing that I shoot 2 arrows at him. So, but it uses my bonus action in this turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll do that with like calculating damage. Do I roll 2 attacks now, or is it just 1 attack with 2 arrows?
1 attack with 2 arrows, so because you're firing both arrows at once. So roll your attack once, and then you can do your damage twice. Oh, a
Okay.
4 perception for the Theritas. Oh, it's just not your day, is it?
No,
Okay,
I
come
rolled
on,
a 1 and a
come
3
on,
there.
Apricity. You're making a dreadful mess of the ice cream. Come on, perception.
10 perception.
You're welcome.
I rolled a nat 1 for the attack because of the advantage. Nat 20. I'm sorry, nat 20.
Nice.
Well, he's dead.
So how does that work with all this stacked damage, Rosie? How does that work? Do I damage my Hunter's Mark as well? Do I damage my Colossus Slayer as well? Like, do I double all the dice that I roll, or do I only double the...
Just double. So, roll the damage dice and then double that number. I'm going to count it as all one big double because you double for a nat 20 and you would add extra anyway. So just double the damage to begin with, and if it doesn't seem enough, we can always add more. Okay, Apricity.
Oh, this is gonna be enough.
Apricity, you're not entirely sure because you're having your face wiped a little too enthusiastically by your mother figure, but you hear what you think is some sort of like yelling coming from inside the caravan where you saw your friends disappear to.
I will say to Arissa, where did Varric and Redo go in the end?
Just checking what I add, by the way. So my damage will be coming.
That's okay.
That's a good question.
Because there sounds like there's some heated stuff going on in that caravan.
Ooh.
The Theratas, you also get the message from Redo saying, we're good, but there's 2 of them making our way out soon.
Do I know where the Theratas is, considering he's been playing my bodyguard recently? I should know.
I'm going to say yes, you do.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Oh!
I assume he's in between us and the caravan, so I'm gonna go up to him with the Pricity and just be like, do you know anything about what's going on?
While Barrick's working out how much he murdered, I'll go. Both Rita and Varric got called into the carriage with Snafu. Now, according to Ridu, there's 2 of them in there, but she said she's on her way out soon, so they must have things under control.
That's... Rosie, so I doubled the dice that I rolled, did I?
Just to be sure, I'm on the other side so they can see me, so I'm on the other wall. Not on the wall that they can see, the side of the carriage.
Yes.
Okay.
Holy shit!
Damn, son!
And if that doesn't kill him, I'll use my extra attack.
Okay.
You don't need all that, poor man!
If it kills him, I will move my Hunter's Mark onto the double.
Okay. Interestingly, I want to work out how I explain this. Interestingly, it does kill him. The 2 arrows go straight in between his ribs, and Snafu, the Great and Terrible, falls backwards, and he actually starts to get entangled in a sort of black smoke. It worms its way around his body and it vanishes.
There goes the magician.
And the
Wait, his entire body went...
His entire body got wrapped in black shadow and disappeared. And then the other Snafu, standing there, shakes his head suddenly and sways a little and sort of leans back against the caravan wall. And then he looks up and says, Who are you? What's going on? Hang on, don't I know you? And he's like starting to peer at the 2 of you like, hang on, I swear I know you from somewhere. Oh, everything's a bit foggy. What happened?
I think we saved you from a robbery, poor man.
You did?
Yeah. Do I roll anything to tell him that?
I was just about to pick. Yeah, roll a deception, please. But you can do it with advantage because he doesn't actually remember anything right now.
I'm so glad I get like advantage on this to save me.
Oh, can I cast a spell, please?
Yes, you may. Which one?
Can I cast Detect Thoughts? For 1 minute, I can read the thoughts of certain creatures.
That doesn't apply to me, right?
No. I'm talking
Okay.
about Snafu too.
Snafu too.
You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment.
Okay.
And I can probe deeper. But they must make a wisdom saving throw if I sorry, if I want to probe deeper.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well, he got a 6 for his wisdom save, so I'm going to say you can probe deeper. It's like swimming through fog at the moment. He's looking at you. Oh yeah, you have a taxidermy rat in a hat. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I give you guys the best stuff. His mind at the moment is foggy and hazy, and he's looking at the two of you, and there's some recognition there, but he can't quite seem to remember where from. You also get the overriding feeling that he has lost something, but you've also got a feeling that he is the most he's ever known himself. He suddenly feels like he knows himself more than he's ever known before. But at the same time, he feels like something's missing. I still maintain we need to do the D&D Bothwellian Puppet Pals. Just saying.
Yep. Gotta be done.
This needs to happen. If we all start with an oven glove as a base, and then we all decorate our own, I think it could be great.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
You do not want to know. We will discuss
Finally,
post game. So yes,
Okay.
that's what he's thinking. He currently seems to believe you, Varric, and he just sort of stands. Oh, and he sort of looks about where the body fell. It has knocked a few things down as it went. Oh, it is a bit messy. Gosh, well, in which case, I suppose I can't thank you enough. I think I'm gonna get off. I feel like I shouldn't be here anymore. It's weird.
That's probably
Yeah,
a good idea.
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, horse. Oh, I'll go
Oh,
get my horse.
your horse. Your horse wandered off right before we, like in the commotion with the robber coming after you inside of into the caravan. The horse wandered off. So I suggest that you go look in that general direction.
Thank you.
Yes, is
Thanks.
the horse gone?
The horse is sort of wandering around the market area at the moment. Sort of slowly.
Oh, God.
You know, it's currently sniffing. Actually, it's sniffing at the two brothers who are chopping up carrots to chuck in the soup.
I worked so hard for that soup.
It's sort of said, right. I'll get my horse. You see yourselves out then, I suppose. Thank you. And he opens the door and he leaves the door to the little caravan open, and he climbs down the steps and goes over to retrieve his horse. Oh no, that was how the encounter was pretty much shaping up to go.
Okay.
Can I just quickly do some investigation in the room and just see if there's anything of interest that I might want to take?
I was just about to say,
Just to
maybe
be
we
sure,
should loot this
how many
place.
of you have pets?
I have a pet. It's a giant weasel.
Sure.
That's sort of the.
Who has animals with them?
We all have a mount. Most
And,
of our horse, Felicity has a four.
Okay, you travel with horses?
Yes.
Most of us with horses, Felicity
Oh, dear.
with a boar,
Okay,
and Verteritas with
We shall see
elk.
what we shall do about that. Okay.
Yeah, Felicity has a bird and also a weasel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your animals are not gonna like me
Why not?
at all. Yeah, just putting that out there.
No way that you turn out to be a devil.
Not sure how I'm gonna deal with the horses. I guess a summon.
Cool, so this guy's died. You guys are now looking in the...
Yeah, we're looting his magical artifacts because he probably has some.
Okay, roll me an investigation check, both of you, or anyone who wants to loot.
I'd like to whisper to Veritas and say, "Oh no, he can only reply to a message, can't he?" I want to whisper to Veritas and say what the
Yeah, I
hell's going.
think it's fast to that.
So I'm just enjoying this meme.
How dare you?
Yes,
No,
it's
I would never.
Every NPC Varric ever meets ever.
no,
At the
that's,
moment,
that's
Panafi,
not entirely true.
yes, I think there's now an exception.
So far, Hannah seems okay.
Let's see how long that lasts.
I should rip off your scrotum and make it into a handbag.
I think Hannah's okay for a while. Although if Varric disagrees with me, I'm gonna be forced to. But so far, it seems like Varric.
Yeah,
has
that
been-
gif is repeating way too many times.
That's right. I'll get rid of it.
No, but it's fun. We
Okay,
should just.
what did you get for you? You got okay. Sorry, I was waiting for the investigation checks to appear at the bottom, and then I didn't even realize that they were above me. Okay, the door opens and Snafu, as far as you can tell, wanders out and starts going over to get his horse. You pause for a second, but you do hear and see voices inside, and they are looting through some of his stuff quietly. Between you, you find 2 gold pieces, 4 silver pieces, and 7 copper pieces. You see the map of Mercer, which has black
Oh, can I take
crosses
it?
on it. Yeah, sure.
I want to take the map Mercer if possible.
Yeah.
You can have all the gold, silver, and coppers, Ridu.
I was just gonna give it to you, but okay, thanks. I'll take it.
You're welcome.
Okay. You also find there's bedding. There's not a lot else. It seems like the clothes that they were both wearing were pretty much the only things they paraded about in, and there's not really a lot. There's some drapes. There's some cooking pots. And
Does he have any food?
he has a little bit of food, yes. You can find sort of like maybe an extra day's worth of food. It seems that they buy stuff from the market and cook it up and things.
I'll add 1 stored rations.
Okay.
I take it.
You do also find under the pillow on the bed, which is a double bed. It seems that that's where they both slept. Under the pillows, right in
That's
the
where the
middle,
magic happened.
is a small silver box. It's about 5 inches long, maybe 3 inches wide.
Wait, it's a small silver box. That's just because I don't normally deal with inches. Like, how big is that in
Oh, okay, hang on. I
Like,
will edit that
correlation
for
to
you.
a hand? Well, I don't need the exacts, but like in comparison to a hand, is it bigger or smaller than a normal hand?
It's about from the bottom of your hand to the top of your middle finger long, and about the width of your hand across.
Okay, so it's slightly longer than a hand and about as wide as a hand.
Yes, the box is, yes.
Can I quickly check whether it has any magical enchantments on it? Or...
Sure, roll me an Arcana check.
9 total.
Okay. Something feels a bit magic-y about it, but not the box.
Can I open the box and see what's inside?
You may.
I do. But like carefully, because, well, it's this shiny box found in the bed of these 2.
He's prepared for anything. You find a giant dildo. No. You
Oh,
open the
do I
lid.
find a 3rd whip?
No.
Do I find a third whip
No.
to match the set?
No.
Aw.
You find a inside the box there is a wrapped up something in a scarf. It's a very fancy scarf. And it's
Ooh, can
wrapping
I-
something.
Can I carefully unwrap it?
Yes, you may. You
Really carefully.
Yeah, you unwrap the scarf, and inside is a packet, and it looks like a packet of playing cards.
Oh god. Oh god.
Is she tiny enough for that?
This can only go one way.
Oh god.
Can I open the pack?
Yes, you
Oh, fuck.
go, Barry, go! Go, Barry, go! What's the worst thing that
What
can
should
happen? Go, Barry, go!
Let me submit an essay format later.
Go,
Guys?
Varric, go, go,
Guys,
go. Varric, don't die.
can you start writing my eulogy?
Oh,
It will
redo.
be a ballad.
Only if that Arcana check was higher.
Okay, so
I-
you open the pack. It looks like a pack of playing cards. They're quite long. You have seen fortune tellers before. These look like fortune teller cards. They're larger, longer, and a bit thicker, a bit sturdy material than regular playing cards are. And they don't appear to have many numbers on. They have like weird symbols and things from what you can see just looking at the edges.
Can I Oh fuck. How am I going to do this?
Can I snatch them off him, saying there's something magic about this, maybe you shouldn't touch them.
Can I try and take a card in the meantime? Like while she snatches it.
Can you both roll me a dexterity check?
Oh, of course.
Oh no!
Of course I can roll you a
I
dexterity.
got not one.
Uh-oh.
I got 24.
Damn.
Was that a 1
So that's no
and a
natural
24?
20. Yeah,
Well,
it's
technically a
not-
2, but
it's not a natural 20, but it is a 24 total.
Okay. Alright. Varric, you managed to pull a card, redo. You sort of try to make a lunge for the pack, but end up just knocking the box to the floor. He's still holding the pack. Varric, can you roll me a d20, please?
1d20?
Uh-huh.
Twenty.
Okay. Varric,
And
you
I'm not terrified.
okay, Varric. Oh man, I really wanna. Oh, I really
If
wanna.
there's something that suits the rule of cool, I totally feel like you are allowed to cheat.
I
As
feel
long
like
as it doesn't completely break my character.
I feel like I want to take you into another chat room and tell you this privately. Like, I
Deal.
don't know. Jump in, Bothwell. Jump in, Bothwell chat. We'll be back. We'll be back, people. Hello, Varric. Hello.
Oh
So,
God, what happened?
you pulled the truth card, and I will openly say that this is a deck of cards that I myself have designed. So good luck with that one. Varric, you feel a sudden rush of knowledge. You are flung into a vision. Your feet leave the floor. You know you're still stood where you were, but you can't see anything else around you.
Wait a second. I'm riding along with this.
That's okay.
So it's a vision. I feel myself flung.
You feel yourself flung into a vision, like you're in a dream. You can still feel your feet on the floor, but you know that everything you're seeing is true.
Okay, wait a second then. You can feel feet on the floor. Everything is true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Varric, you see yourself and Orissa making your way through the world. You don't remember going this direction, though. You remember Orissa, you remember yourself, you remember travelling and the adventures you have, but you don't remember going to this place. You don't recognise it. You don't recognise any of the people you are with. You don't recognise the scarecrows that you fight and set fire to in a field. You don't recognise the place that you steal food from. You don't recognise the big hulking half-orc who speaks to you. You don't even recognise the taste of the corn you stole. And then you see yourself and you feel yourself pulled up into the sky trying to save Orissa, the unconscious Orissa, and someone else who you don't recognise. You...
Wait a second. I need to write this down because this is important.
Okay.
I feel...
You feel yourself pulled up into the
floating
sky.
Up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pulled up?
Yeah. And
so I remember the dying for Orissa now.
Remember this, and you don't recognise it at all, but you know it's true. Instinctively in yourself, you know it's true, and then you feel yourself die. And it's the most horrible, ripping feeling you could possibly imagine. And the pain you feel is nothing to the heartbreak that you know you're leaving Orissa behind. And then suddenly, everything goes white. And then you open your eyes, and you remember being in the Walden dungeon with the Orissa again. And in that second, you felt a warm rush of gratitude to see that she was there, but you couldn't think why. You thought it was just because you were happy she'd survived as well. But now you know that there really was another one of you. And somehow he was drawn to Orissa. And Orissa saw you die. But she's never mentioned this. But the second Varric is dead. And you know this to be true. And as far as you're aware, Orissa knows it too. You don't know where you were when it happened. You don't recognise the place, but you know it happened. And when you awoke in the Walden dungeon, that was the final piece of your second consciousness merging with the first.
Wait, so that was the final piece of my second coming?
Yep. Because this is because you can feel this in yourself now. You don't recognise these memories, but you know they're yours. And you know that the soul that was in the copy of you that was made, you know yourself that you are the original Varric. The second Varric believed he was the original Varric too. But when he died, he couldn't pass on. And so he was drawn immediately back to you, his original source. And because it was so messed up, you don't really remember it at all. And you just melded as one.
Wait, do I have multiple personalities now?
No, you can remember everything the Sunday party has ever done. You just don't remember where they were. Like that bit's hazy. Like it's like you can remember it like you watched a film but the sound was off. You can't remember. You can remember, say, like Kess. You can remember her face, but you can't remember her voice. And you know you remember Pug and the sword, and you remember Arissa, but you can't remember. You're not very good on names or voices, but you would recognise if you were stood in stock again. You could say, "Oh, I've been here before," but you wouldn't know where you were.
Oh, so basically also my wanderer kicks in whenever I now enter places that the Sunday party was. Then.
Yes.
But only up until where Varric died, so that's
literally stock. And a little bit of Travis because you and, as far as you're aware, Arissa travelled through Travis to get to stock.
Oh yeah, of course.
Or if you two decided out of game that you went across the sea, then it would be that direction as well.
I don't know what I've planned with Arissa.
That's fine, but how you can speak to her about the Sunday and how you two travelled and everything, that's fine. But that's up to you, but you can remember...
I'll ask her after this session.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so, any questions?
Wait a second. Yeah, just to check, because I have like tight notes of this and I want to check if I have every important thing about it for now. It's I see myself and Arissa making our way through the world, not in a direction that I remember or anything like that. I do remember myself and Arissa, not the location or the people that I'm with. I remember, I don't remember the scarecrows, the group that I'm with, and such. I do recognize the places. I don't recognize the taste of the corn, all of those details. But the vague concept is known.
Yes.
I feel myself pulled up into the air to save Arissa. I died for Arissa. I don't recognize it as something that I encountered, but I know it happened for sure, that it's true.
Yep.
I then feel myself die. Horrible ripping feeling. Pain I feel is nothing like the heartache I leave behind for Arissa. Then I wake up with a bright white light. And I know that Arissa knows about my death, but
yes.
Arissa hasn't mentioned anything about it yet.
No.
Then the final piece of my second coming was waking up in the Walden Dungeons and going on this adventure with the Tuesday party.
Yep.
This Varric is the actual Varric. The other one was the double. I remember all of the Sunday party. I remember the people, the faces, but not the names, the sound of the voice.
Yep.
So no details, only vague recollections.
Yes.
And that's basically how I remember the Sunday things.
Yes.
Holy fucking shit.
Okay. So, any questions or shall I take you back?
You just made me so excited. I'm so happy with this. This is so fucking cool.
Alright. I will see you back in the regular chat then.
See you in a bit.
It will all be in the workshop.
Hey, they're back.
Hello.
I need to know what this is.
I appreciate
going on?
I appreciate that you can all go back and listen to the YouTube and you can see what happens.
I'll update you all with one word. Epic. Now I wish you good luck.
So, Varric, after all of that, you blink and you are standing in the caravan again. You're holding the card, which instinctively pulls itself from your hand and puts itself back into the deck. In fact, the deck comes out, shuffles itself, and then goes back inside the pack.
Oh, fucking hell.
And it shall remain there.
Can I,
Flip a 5. Flip a 5, motherfucker. Flip a 5.
Flipper 5. I'll join on that.
It's our super special way of backwards high-fiving. We flip a 5 like penguins. Yes!
Can I,
Just outside, none the wiser.
Ridu,
Yeah.
keep it safe.
Okay.
Are
What happened?
you giving her the deck of cards then?
Well, she took it from me, right?
No, she tried to, but the box fell out of your hand. But you were still holding the pack.
In that case, I'm gonna say I'm fine, but I'll keep it safe. If you want to know about it, or if you want to try what it does, talk to me. I'll make sure to help you, but please keep it hidden from the group for now.
Okay.
You've been making a stone pile on Betheritas's foot.
Yeah, just like
I'll
Okay.
one on top of the other.
Well, you had to pass the time, didn't you?
I'll give you
And
one
Hannah
hint.
is
Reader.
seriously wondering if she should confiscate those, so...
The cards or the stones?
Reader,
The cards. As far as you're aware, the cards have done nothing wrong or evil. So
Nice.
as far as you're feeling okay. They're definitely magic-y,
Okay.
but as far as you're aware so far, they haven't done anything that would cause you concern. So,
Apart
Rosie,
from the cold sweat going down his face.
apart from the cold sweat running down Eric's face.
Rosie,
My little
Yes.
scare never bothered anyone.
can I do the truly
Have
evil
roller
thing?
coasters.
What truly evil
I
thing are
want
you
to
doing?
give. I want to drag Ridu into the Bothwell chat as well for a second and give her a hint about what happened. Not the full truth, but like
Oh, thanks.
True.
Are you,
Should I knock on the wood and are there like securities?
well,
or
I'm not
cops coming
gonna
in or
lie
something?
about what happened, but I'm not gonna tell everything that happened
Because they've been here
this
a
is too
while.
big.
you can hear them talking now, so that's settled you. You've heard that they were rummaging around, having a look through the things. You can take Reader in the chat if you like. Are you telling her in character? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Redo and Varric jump in the Bothwell chat. We will be back in literally 2 minutes.
Hey, Ridu.
Hello.
All right.
I pull the most amazing thing out of the deck of many
This is
things.
fucking hilarious.
Yes, it is. It's fucking epic.
You don't know that in character.
What about the deck of many things?
No. You've heard rumors of magic things, but yes.
Okay. When I pulled this card, something happened. I saw things, and I learned more about myself in this. And I think that double, that snafu dude, thingamajigger, nutcase was talking about. I think that he's dead.
Did he die in the forest?
Wait until you have
No. That my double went on a journey.
I am bound by secret.
I can't tell you more about it now. I don't know what happened, but I think my double went on a journey and died.
Okay. As long as you're okay.
I'm okay. I promise. I'll keep you updated if anything comes from it.
Alright. Shall I keep the cards in my bag?
Would you mind if I keep them for now?
Suit yourself.
If you want to borrow them or use them, just tell me and you can borrow them. Of course, they're ours, not just mine.
Fair enough. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
I start walking towards the door.
I
Alright.
follow, and as soon as I hit the door, or as soon as I reach the door, I'll instantly look for Arissa. Like first thing I do.
All right. Jump back in chat.
Oh wait, yeah, let's do that in the chat. Boo.
Hello.
So
Hello.
they have come to the door now, and Varric is looking for you, Arissa. We're going to keep
Yeah.
going for about 10 minutes, so I can wrap this piece up. But don't worry, we will wrap in 10.
This is such an epic ending, though. This changes so fucking
Well,
much.
for you, for everyone else, it's a little frustrating.
But first thing I do is I look for Arissa and I walk over to her.
Flip a 5.
Of course, I've hidden the box by now.
Fuck.
What?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. She still has no idea.
I try to keep it as vague as possible because this is fun.
Hey!
Very confusing.
We're all confused.
No, we're not all confused. I
will
promise
see.
you, I know now.
Erisa will see Barrett coming towards him, just like, "Hey, is everything okay?"
Yes. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Okay, no, it's nothing then.
Denial.
I guess my mind is just playing up. I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Kind of puts her hand. She puts her hand kind of on his arm, just be like, "Barrett, keep it's okay."
I'll
They're now
well-
scarred together for life.
She puts her hand on my arm, right?
Yeah.
And Varric will blush, look to the ground, and go, I'm not sure. I just want you to be safe. I don't know. Something happened, and don't you know it?
Wait, so Kitsune is now near Varric? She's inside the
Yeah, she's next to Orisa.
carriage?
Yeah,
No, I walked out.
she's pretending to be her child. You can have followed Varric if you like, because you'll have seen him leave the caravan.
I appear again behind him, and I simply say, "Did you enjoy the ride?"
Whoa.
I want to know. I should know what happens. Damn it!
You know?
Can I see her? Can I see Hannah?
Yes.
Everyone can see her.
Okay, cool. I'm just like, who the hell?
How epic would it be if I had this imaginary friend?
Oh no, that would have been good.
That is an awesome idea.
I just wanted to double check, so I wasn't sure if that's where that was going.
No.
But yeah,
Okay,
I'm just gonna go like,
No,
whoa.
I can use that some other time, but this time you can see her.
I just who
Or this one
this
person.
character
She needs
is
to be
visible.
seen.
And once again, the DM is writing notes.
Oh
Always.
shit, he's always writing notes.
Always in forever writing notes.
To be fair, I think I'm torn. I don't know if I enjoy
Oh, by the way,
it yet.
is Savina still with Varric?
Did you come out at the same time, Reedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both
Okay,
exited the
turns
caravan
to
same time.
Savina and she
We're all together again.
turns to Savina and she bows her head in respect because she's a high elf. Saying that.
Reedy likes this.
Really does like this. She nods upwards, like the stupid nod that guys make.
The hey bro kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, but no one still has asked why she's there on anyone.
I've just
following
asked, like, who is
Hannah.
this person? Where? Just who are you?
You have to ask me something if you want to know.
Hannah, can I ask you why
Not just
you sought me out, like, didn't you? You came specifically to me in the market, but why?
That's some furious typing right there.
Yep.
This isn't something
I-
you would know. This is just for
Yeah. Out of game me knows that, but Varric doesn't understand it.
yeah. That's just for everyone around to understand. This is what the answer is.
So
Yeah.
why? What?
Ooh, let me shuffle.
Annabelle. These people, these are my companions. I travel with them. We listen to the group named Carnal Eclipse. And well, guys, this is Hannibal. I can't give you more information yet, but this is Hannibal. I will step slightly closer to Arissa, by the way, as she's still having her hand on.
At this point, oh fuck, I can't hear myself. Closure walks back up, basically saying everything's prepared. Where the fuck have you guys been?
Timing wise, DM,
I'll point
Yes.
over to the
I've
caravan.
just dropped a divine sense just as Glosia's rocked up again.
Okay. Were you dropping divine sense on anything in particular?
Just the general area, mainly because stranger there that supposedly found Varric in the market.
Okay. You don't sense anything evil on her. You sense a lot of evil on the Kalosia's sword again, and a little bit sort of like on bits of him, and we've discussed that before, so I'm not going to go through that paragraph again. A tiny little bit on Varric, a tiny little bit on Orissa, and a tiny little bit from something. Varric, where have you put the cards?
I put the cards in my in one of my packs. I have the backpack and I have two.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have a belt pouch.
Okay. You can sense
In my belt
both.
pouch.
You can sense both very good and very bad coming from the same thing in Varric's bag. You can't tell what it is, but there's something in there. Something new, at least, since the last time you've done this. And there's nothing else holy. Like, nothing holy around. Or outright evil, either.
Of course it is.
Start again. No,
Those
sorry.
crutches now
Ready again, mind blown.
both.
Yes. And
Genius.
so, Kaloja has rocked up saying, where have you guys been? And you guys are going to head with him at some point towards Baywatch, the inn.
Oh yeah.
Also,
We're
gonna
going
give
to
a
that
little
movie.
nod over to the high elf.
Huh?
Also, give you a little nod over to the high elf.
Okay.
To Hannah.
Yes.
And
I
I'm
don't know
just
her
following you people as you still haven't said anything, so I'm just gonna keep following.
Okay. In which case, I will say that on that, as Top Gear say, on that bombshell, and also to the rest of you, not quite bombshell, but I'm sure out of character it can be discussed a bit. I will leave you.
I'll update.
We will discuss XP and chat and various different things after the stream, but I shall turn it off for now. What?
Also, cast Hunter's Mark on the NPC and killer.
No!
Joking.
Goodness sake. He's joking, ignore him, he's being a cunt. Alright, I will turn
can
the stream
try.
off and I will talk to you soon. I encourage him to try, that'd be hilarious. Alright, love to all, say back to the recording.
Bye.
Okay, is this going to
Bye.
happen next week or the other week?
Say bye first, though.
Bye.
Bye.